Chapter 120. Good times always pass by so quickly. We're going home in one more day. Darling son, are you satisfied with this trip? Nanxing asked Lan Xuanyu with a smile. It's pretty good. Thank you, Mommy, Lan Xuanyu replied with a smile. He was most satisfied with the toys in the suitcase. Among them, he liked to model the most. It was a figurine of about 20 centimeters tall of a young man wearing an ice blue armor. Lan Xiao told him that it wasn't an ordinary armor, but a battle armor. Furthermore, it wasn't an ordinary battle armor. It was said that it was the first battle armor created by the founder of battle armor. Battle armor was something that only the most powerful spirit masters could own. The figurine that Lan Xiao bought for Lan Xuanyu was based on an ancient hero who was the most important person in this world and even in the history of mankind. He was the strongest person 20,000 years ago, and even today, no one could surpass or replace him. His title was Lingbing Doloa, and he had a huge impact on the entire 13 Doloa. It could be said that without him, the world wouldn't exist today. That's right, he was the legendary Yuhao, who even his wife was jealous of his appearance. He was hailed as the cutest person in the universe. Lan Xuanyu was very happy. He wanted to buy a figurine to match the Yuhao figurine, but his parents said that he could only buy one, so Lan Xuanyu could only give up. In order to avoid spending too much at the beginning and affecting the rest of the trip, Nansheng and Lan Xiao discussed and decided to make a big purchase on the last day. The price of goods in the Federation was very stable, and there wasn't a situation where there was a huge price difference between different planets. Therefore, there weren't any restrictions on cross-planet purchases. Women didn't have to buy things for themselves when they went shopping. The most important thing was the thrill of the shopping process. She bought a new set of clothes for Lan Xuanyu and a pair of shoes for Lan Xiao. Nanxing didn't buy many things for herself. Hubby, what do you think of this? It's an amulet. It was said to be the work of the master of mind control, Qin Guanghan. It can keep you awake at all times. Since you're going on a long trip, it's better to take it with you. It's good for your work. Although it's a little expensive, let's buy it. Nansheng said to Lan Xiao as she looked at a pendant carved out of blue crystal in the display window. You agree to let me go? Lan Xiao looked at her with some surprise. Nansheng glanced at him. Although I can't bear to part with her. You're obviously so capable, but your promotion speed is so slow these years. Although you don't say it yourself, I can feel that you're not that happy at work. You need a bigger stage. How can I not support you? I only have one request. No matter what, come back safely. Actually, I just hope that our family can live peacefully and happily together. Lan Zhao's eyes flashed with a touch of emotion. He held her hand and said, How about I? Nansheng raised her hand to cover his mouth. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. I can feel that you want to go. Go, it's just half a year at most. We'll wait for you at home. Lan Xiao took a deep breath, and a hint of determination flashed across his eyes. He definitely wouldn't let his wife down. This time, he must achieve something. He couldn't be arrogant and couldn't be lazy. Buy that amulet. It's a guarantee for your safety. Waiter, I'll have to trouble you. I'll take this amulet. Give me the bill. Xuanyu, you wait here with Daddy for Mommy. Where's Xuanyu? Lan Xiao smiled. It's fine, I won't lose it. Go get the bill. I'll go look for him. This kind of advanced shopping mall had very comprehensive surveillance equipment. It was impossible for a child to go missing. It must be that Lan Xuanyu wanted to play and ran off somewhere. Lan Xuanyu was indeed a little playful. At this moment, he was standing in a shop selling figurines. He looked at an especially beautiful figurine with a longing look on his little face. The other figurine he had his eyes on was painted silver. It had a huge pair of wings spread out behind its back and a head of long silver hair fluttering behind its head. It held a silver-white spear, had purple eyes, and a slightly cartoonish face. It was covered in silver armor. Little friend, do you like this? The salesperson had already seen him standing there. There weren't many people in the mall today, and she saw that Lan Xuanyu was good-looking, so she went over. Lan Xuanyu nodded. Auntie, can this silver dragon Doloa be cheaper? The salesperson smiled. That won't do. This is the 30th generation limited edition. The armor is made of rare metals. We don't have the right to lower the price. Oh, Lan Xuanyu pouted slightly. Thank you, Auntie. I'll buy it again in the future. The salesperson saw that he looked cute and smiled. Then you have to hurry up. There aren't many left in this batch of limited edition. We only have one left in our shop. Lan Xuanyu was a little anxious. He really liked this figurine. Can I trouble you to give me this figurine? At this moment, a very pleasant voice was heard. The salesperson quickly stood up and looked at the person who came. Her eyes immediately widened. You are. When Lan Xuanyu heard that someone wanted to buy it, and the salesperson said that there was only one left, he immediately panicked and turned around. But when he saw who it was, he couldn't help but be stunned. You are the two big sisters from last time, Lan Xuanyu said excitedly in the spaceship. That's right, it was Sister Ling and Sister Yu that Lan Xuanyu met last time. You came in front of Lan Xuanyu and patted his head. Long time no see, little brother. We meet again. Do you like that beautiful and powerful silver dragon Doloa figurine? Ling glanced at you from the side. This woman, could it be that she wanted to... I super like it. Lan Xuanyu nodded. I see. Sister Ling, you turned around and looked at Ling. TSK? What's the use of buying this? Ling said calmly. It's not much use to begin with. I bought it for little brother. You said with a smile. Seriously. Ling walked over and gave her a knock on the head. Then, she looked at Lan Xuanyu. Little brother, since you like it so much, how about I buy it for you? Lan Xuanyu was shocked. Sister Ling wanted to buy that figurine for him? To be honest, he didn't know why, but when he saw Sister Ling, his whole body trembled. That trembling came from the depths of his heart. Sister Ling always gave him an aura that kept people 1,000 miles away. But now he felt that Sister Ling seemed to have some humanity. Sister, are you really going to buy it for me? Mommy said that I can't just casually ask for something. Lan Xuanyu said shyly. I could buy the figurine for you. I can convince your family, but after I buy it for you, you have to train hard. Sister Ling's originally ethereal voice became gentler. Really? Lan Xuanyu's eyes lit up. That's right. Even if you want this world, we might give it to you. You nodded and said, Dong. Another bond appeared on Yu's head. She squatted at the side, feeling wronged. Ling waved her hand calmly, then took out a black card and handed it to the salesperson. Silver Dragon Doloa figurine. Pack it up for this child. Ling's voice became ethereal again. Black card. The salesperson trembled, his eyes filled with shock. Hurry up, Ling said unhappily. Here, yes. Right away. The salesperson trembled as he received the black card, then took the Silver Dragon Doloa figurine and hurriedly packed it up. She actually met someone with such a big background today. A black card was not something that just anyone could have. It was a very limited number of shopping cards sold by the Federation. It was the highest level of shopping card that could directly withdraw money from the Federation's treasury. In the entire 13 Doloa system, there were only a few forces with hackers. These two girls were definitely important figures in those forces. Xuanyu, why are you here? You made Daddy look for you. Your sisters from that time? Lan Xiao finally found this place. He walked around and locked onto the shop. As expected, his son was really here, but he didn't expect to see the Ling Yu sisters, whom he had met a few days ago. Hello. Yu Chao nodded at Lan Xiao. Ling didn't nod. Don't think that it was impolite. If she nodded at Lan Xiao would definitely die, because a mere mortal wouldn't be able to withstand her nod. When Lan Xuanyu saw Lan Xiao, he lowered his head as if he had done something wrong and said, Daddy, the sisters said that they wanted to buy me a Silver Moon Doloa figurine. Can I have it? Lan Xiao looked at Nana in surprise. Ling said, I have a lot of fate with this child. I saw that he liked it, so I bought it for him. Please let him accept it. Lan Xiao quickly said, That's not good. We met by chance. How can I accept your things? How about this? I'll pay for it. Thank you. You're welcome. Actually, we've already paid, so there's no need to trouble you, you said. This? Lan Xiao was stunned for a moment. In the end, he bowed to Ling and Yu. Xuanyu has really caused trouble for you. You're too kind. Actually, we should be the ones saying this to you. You helped Lan Xiao up and said, Lan Xiao and Lan Xuanyu were stunned. Uh, you suddenly realized that she had said something she shouldn't have. Dong. The bun on Yu's head that had disappeared appeared again. You squatted at the side aggrievedly. I'm sorry, she likes to talk nonsense, Ling said to Lan Xiao. I'm sorry, I made you wait. The salesperson wiped her sweat and came in front of Ling and handed over a perfectly packaged box. Inside was the Silver Moon Doloa figurine. Thank you. Ling took the figurine. Also, this is your card. The salesperson respectfully handed over the black card. Ling took the black card and accepted it. Lan Xiao also saw the black card, and his heart suddenly trembled. Black card? Could they be from some big faction? Come, Xuan Yu, this is for you. Ling squatted down and handed the figurine to Xuan Yu. Thank you, Sister Ling. Lan Xuan Yu took the figurine and said to Ling excitedly. Lan Xuan Yu and Lan Xiao left silently. A trace of reluctance flashed across Ling and Yu's eyes. It wasn't easy for us to meet again, but we're actually saying goodbye so soon. You muttered. If you're still worried, then we... Ling glanced at you. Yu was stunned for a moment, and Ling's plan appeared in her mind. That's good. As expected, my dear is the best. You hugged Ling happily. All right. How old are you? If I hadn't blocked the vision of the people around us, they might have looked at us strangely. Ling stroked Yu's head helplessly. There's no time to lose. Let's hurry and find little Xuan Yu. Chapter 121. In a vast and formless universe, there are many vast and boundless divine galaxies. The center of these divine galaxies is known as the divine planet, also known as the divine realm. It is the residence of the strongest in this galaxy, and the strongest call themselves gods. Every divine realm has its own leader, who is known as the divine king. They're the strongest beings in the divine realm, and they manage the divine realm. Gods were originally the natives of these hundreds of billions of ordinary planets. Through various trials and cultivation, they broke the shackles of the plane they were in and ascended to the divine realm. They divided the realm of gods into different levels. The lowest level was the hunter of the divine realm, followed by the heavenly official, followed by the third-level gods, second-level gods, first-level gods, which represented the combat power of a divine realm lord, and the strongest combat power, the divine king. Of course, in reality, there are stronger gods, but weakness and pedantry limited their imagination. They did not dare to imagine what was above the divine king. After becoming a god, all of them had terrifying power. They could easily destroy a planet with a wave of their hand. Because the combat power of a god was too terrifying, if there was a conflict between the god realm and the god realm, it would usually be resolved through negotiations. Unless it was absolutely necessary, they would not go to war. And our newest story will begin in a divine galaxy in this boundless universe. In the endless universe, a white-haired youth was sitting on a broken meteorite, slowly reading the first page of a thick book in his hand. Is this the new thing that the overseer is going to write? Just reading the preface seems quite interesting. Turn to the first page. Isn't this the story of my other self in that parallel universe? I remember, she seems to be a female. Interesting. I didn't expect the overseer to extend his evil hand to her. Speaking of which, other than meeting her, I don't seem to know her story. Let me take a good look. Chapter 122. Yao Chen was especially shocked because he had never met an alchemist who could refine tier 5 and 6 pills at the age of 6. Yet this handsome and cute little boy in front of him could easily refine the mighty Huang pill. Xiaoyanzi, I have to say that your talent has really shocked me. Yao Chen once again sized up Xiao Yin, who was playing with the perfect tier 5 breakthrough spirit pill in his hand, can greatly increase the success rate of a Do Ling breaking through to the Do Wang realm. I don't deserve your praise. I am only happy to receive teacher's praise. These 2 pills can be used by father in the future, but he is currently a 5-star to Do Sure. I haven't seen him for a long time, so I'm not sure how many stars he had back then. So I'm just guessing, and he just broke through a few days ago. It's still too early to use the perfect spirit-breaking pill and the mighty Huang pill. Yuhao muttered. Then, let me recommend you two pills that your father can use, the 3 lines green spirit pill and the purplish green barrier-breaking pill. These two pills are suitable for a Dido sure to break through, but the former has a certain chance of backlash while the latter has no backlash. Yao Chun said. Yes, teacher, is there anything else? Xiaoyan asked. There is, but those ingredients are not available in the entire Wutan city. If you want them, you can go to the Jiama Empire Alchemist Association. Yao Chun said. That's a little troublesome. Xiaoyan helplessly shook his head. That's not right. Xiaoyan recalled that as half of the Great Realm did not only have spiritual souls, there were also many precious medicinal herbs and ingredients for refining medicinal pills. However, some of them were in the other half of the Great Realm, which was with Huiyue. Teacher, what do you think could be refined by combining the ingredients of the two pills? Xiaoyan asked. What? That's impossible. Xiaoyan Zi, I know what you want to do. You want to try refining a new pill using the ingredients of the 3 lines green spirit pill and the purplish green barrier breaking pill. I'm telling you that it's almost impossible. These two pills have similar effects. However, their grades aren't on the same level. Moreover, it's very dangerous to refine these two pills together without permission, Yao Chun said in a deep voice. In other words, there's a certain chance? Xiaoyan asked with a smile. Well, theoretically, there's a certain chance of success. However, the refining process is too dangerous. A slight mistake will cause a big explosion. Moreover, the success rate of fusing 2 different pill formulas into a new pill formula is only 10%. Yao Chun shook his head and said, How will I know if I don't try? Xiaoyan replied with a faint smile. You brat. Yao Chun was stunned. Hey, if there were no challenges in life, then it would be too boring. Xiaoyan took out the ingredients needed to refine the 3-line green spirit pill and the purple-green barrier-breaking pill. Where did you get it from? Yao Chun rubbed his eyes and asked in disbelief. In his eyes, it was as if Xiaoyan had conjured these medicinal ingredients out of thin air. It was simply unbelievable. Xiaoyan carelessly threw the medicinal ingredients into the pill cauldron. They were indeed the same person. Even when refining medicine, they were so casual. He agglomerated a cluster of flame. He looked at the flame in his hand for a moment before looking at Yao Chun in an embarrassed manner. Teacher, can I borrow your bone-chilling flame? 1 strand is enough. Take it. Yao Chun handed a strand of the bone-chilling flame to Xiaoyan without any hesitation. Xiaoyan began to refine a new medicinal pill. That's right. Teacher, I have always wanted to ask you something. You hid in the storage ring because you were being chased by the people from the Hall of Souls. How did you appear in Wutan City? Yao Chun was stunned. After which, he looked at Xiaoyan in a meaningful manner. What is it? Xiaoyan felt a little strange. Honestly speaking, this is also related to you. No, more accurately speaking, it is related to your mother. Yao Chun softly said. My mother? Xiaoyan was stunned. Mother? Xiaoyan's mother? Yuhao had once used the spoiler eye to see some of the stories that Huiyue had read on Earth. Although they had mentioned Xiaoyan's mother, they had not mentioned her exact identity. He had also seen various guesses on the internet. She was a member of the Gu clan, a traitor to the Hun clan, or even a descendant of the Shao clan from an even earlier time. However, Xiaoyan's mother had died when Xiaoyan was 4 or 5 years old. After her death, she had handed the storage ring that contained Yao Chun to Xiaoyan. There are people here who guessed that Xiaoyan's mother was already aware of Yao Chun's existence. For the sake of her son, she had handed the storage ring to the young Xiaoyan. Now, Yao Chun was telling him in front of him that he was only able to be here because of his mother. Xiaoyan Zi, teacher cannot reveal too much to you. Teacher can only tell you that your mother is very, very strong. Moreover, she's not dead. Yao Chun softly said. Aye. What? Xiaoyan was greatly startled. Who exactly are they? Yuhao muttered. You only need to know that they are harmless to you. They have even been quietly helping you. Xiaoyan said. Honestly speaking, he could vaguely guess who the other party was. However, he was not certain. After all, It was impossible for such an expert to appear in the endless universe. Xiao Yanji, Sister Yu Air. Xiao Sun Air could no longer hold it in and hurriedly ran over. Oh, yo, long time no see. Sun Air Mimi, you have become prettier. Hui Yue once again changed into Ling Yu Air mode and lovingly patted Xiao Sun Air's head. Oh, bad sister. Why did you attack Xiao Yanji without any reason? Xiao Sun Air pouted and said angrily. There was nothing I could do. His chi method was very strange. It made me feel that he was not someone from the Do-Chi continent. So, it was my fault for attacking. I didn't take it out. Ling Yu Air said very apologetically. It's okay. Since the misunderstanding has been cleared, there is nothing else. Besides, you didn't hurt me, did you? Xiao Yin said with a smile. All right, Sister Yu Air, what are you doing here? Xiao Sun Air curiously asked. I just wanted to see how my little sister is doing. Hee. I didn't think that not only are you doing well, you even have a boyfriend. Ling Yu Air teased. Xiao Sun Air's face immediately turned red. Oh, bad sister. Oof. Ha ha ha. Sun Air is so cute when she blushes. Ling Yu Air patted Xiao Sun Air's head and said, Yo, long time no see. Brother Xiao Yin, how have you been? At this time, a young man's voice sounded. The guy who deserved a beating finally made his appearance. Xiao Yin really couldn't remember the name of this minor character. You? Do we know each other? Jialai Ao was speechless. I am. Xiao Yanji. I haven't been to the Xiao clan yet. Can you bring me there? Before Jialai Ao finished speaking, Ling Yuer jumped out and said to Xiao Yin, Okay, since it is your first time here, I will lead the way. Xiao Yin said with a smile. After saying that, Xiao Yin, Ling Yuer, Xiao Sun Air, and Ling Huan, who was following Ling Yuer, left together without even looking at Jialai Ao. Jialai Ao was alone there, enjoying the cool breeze. Damn it! How dare you ignore this young master? He angrily stomped the ground and then sat down on the ground dejectedly. So what if he was angry? The opponent was too strong. Miss, why do you? Ling Huan wanted to say something, but Ling Yuer waved her hand. Ling Huan, there are some things that you don't need to know. You only need to know that Xiao Yin is the most important person to me. Ling Yuer said. But miss, if the clan leader knows. Ling Huan still wanted to say. Don't say any more. Ling Huan, you have to remember, since you are following me, you should listen to me. I will tell you the truth. Xiao Yin will definitely become one of the strongest overlords in the Great Thousand World in the future. Ling Huan said. Although she said that, she was very clear in her heart that he would definitely be stronger than she imagined. This? Ling Huan was speechless. What are you guys whispering about? Xiao Yin turned around and asked with a smile. Nothing, Xiao Yinji. Have we reached the Xiao clan yet? Ling Yuer asked. We are here, right here. Xiao Yin stopped walking. Oh, this is the Xiao clan. It's so spectacular. Ling Yuer said with stars in her eyes. This was considered spectacular? Ling Huan's mouth twitched. Although it was considered a big clan in Wutan City, but even some of the small clans in the central region were much bigger than this. What was Miss doing? It's really spectacular. Don't you think so, Ling Huan? Ling Yuer looked at Ling Huan. Yes. Spectacular. It's really spectacular. I have never seen such a spectacular clan in my life. Ling Huan quickly cooperated and kept clapping her hands. Xiao Yin looked at Ling Huan helplessly. You're obviously just brushing me off with these words. Xiao Yinji, can we stay here for a while? We might have to stay here for a long time. Ling Yuer said. Of course, no problem. I will arrange a room for you and your identities. Xiao Yin said with a smile. Okay. With Xiao Yan's help, Ling Yuer and Ling Huan successfully moved into the Xiao clan. Their identities were arranged by Xiao Yin to be the descendant of a desolate clan, and they were taken in by Xiao Yin. Of course, this was told to the outside world. Only Xiao Yin and Xiao Sun Air knew their true origins. Chapter 123. If I can be reborn, I really want to experience a date. Universe 5115, Dolua's God Realm Committee in the space-time turbulence. A huge ball of light exuded a soft glow in the middle of the hall. 6 gods exuding a terrifying aura stood in each corner, injecting energy of different brilliance into it. In the middle was the sea god Tang San, who had long, ocean blue hair that trailed down to his heels. His appearance was extraordinarily handsome. His expression was solemn, and his hands were releasing azure and dark red light, respectively. That was the power of his sea god deity position and azura god deity position. On his left was the evil god Ji Dong, dressed in black and wearing a half-skull mask on the left side of his head. His entire body exuded a faint, evil aura. On his other side was a woman in a red dress, her entire body exuding a peaceful halo. This peaceful halo gave people a sense of peace and tranquility. She was the good god Lai Yan. Below the two of them stood a handsome young man with golden hair and another young man with a tall and burly figure. The blonde young man was naturally the former god of emotions, Rong Nianbing. The other person was the god of destruction, Zhou Weiqing. The last person, opposite Tang San, was a young man with long blue hair who was shorter than Tang San. He looked no more than 20 years old. The young man's appearance had the handsomeness of a man and the elegance of a woman. At first glance, it was impossible to guess his gender. His ocean-like blue eyes seemed to be able to reflect the universe. He was the new legendary figure of the Doa continent after Tang San, Lingbing Da Yuhao. The Hui Yuhao of this universe was not a descendant of the Dai family. His mother was still Hui Yuner, but his father was not Dai Hao. His parents had been killed by his enemies when he was 6 years old, and he had managed to survive because he had hidden him in a secret passage. In the end, he had embarked on the path of revenge alone. He had also inherited Rong Nianbing's god of emotions. 10,000 years after Tang San ascended to the god realm, he was the only one who had become a god. During the period of internal strife in the god realm, when he rescued Poseidon Tang San, who was imprisoned by the god of destruction, he single-handedly faced off against the god of destruction and the 7 original sin gods. He bought enough time for the Rong Nianbing elemental god to break through the barrier of level 1 god and become the 6th god king. He also comprehended the true essence of ice, fate, and undead, and created new divine thrones. He became the god of ice, god of fate, and god of undead. It was impossible for a person to have the 3rd divine seat. By relying on his own strength, he had held back the veteran god of destruction and his subordinates of the 7 deadly sins. He had successfully allowed Poseidon Tang San to break through the seal and reverse the situation in the god realm. He had also successfully gained Poseidon Tang San's approval. The light in the center gradually converged, returning to a state of complete unity. Only then did the 6 of them slowly retract their divine power. "Thank you for your hard work, everyone." Tang San smiled. "No, Lord Poseidon is the one who has worked hard." Hui Yuhao wiped the fragrant sweat off his forehead. "Hey, how can a man like you have fragrant sweat?" he said with a smile. "Yuhao, you should go back and rest as well. Also, are you still not going to consider little Seven's request?" Tang San asked. Yuhao was stunned for a moment. Then a complicated look flashed through his eyes. He said calmly, "No, Poseidon's eldest daughter. I'm not worthy of her. No matter what, I'm just a lone wolf without parents." Yuhao disappeared in the blink of an eye. Tang San sighed inwardly. Rong Nianbing came to his side and patted Tang San. "Brother, look on the bright side. I know you want to bring them together, but you also know that if your little one hadn't done something wrong to him, he wouldn't have left the Tang family. That child is used to being alone and finally found a new home. But your daughter, Sai, I'll let Yuhao down. I didn't teach little Seven well. I guess Yuhao helped me during the Civil War. Because of you, right?" Tang San sighed. Rong Nianbing shook his head helplessly. "No, he did it for the greater good of the god realm." Tang San's heart trembled, and he laughed bitterly. "Is that so? Little Seven, do you know that your hurtful words back then ruined a man who was very likely to become an outstanding member of the Tang family? Hui Yuhao calmly walked down the corridor. Yuhao. At this moment, a pink-blue figure appeared in front of him. Oh, isn't this the eldest daughter of the Tang family? Are you looking for an orphan like me? Yuhao said calmly. Yuhao, the situation that day wasn't like that. Tang Wudong wanted to say something, but Hui Yuhao didn't want to listen. Yes, it really wasn't like that. I know, I've always known. However, I'm very sorry. After you said those words, it's already impossible for us to be together. Speaking of which, isn't that what a woman would say to a man? Hui Yuhao finished speaking and walked away alone. Tang Wudong stood there in a daze. Then, a tear slowly fell from the corner of her eye. Yuhao, I'm sorry. Hui Yuhao seemed to feel it. His body trembled slightly, but he continued walking forward. Let's just treat this as a fake love. I'm just a lonely wanderer. It had to be said that the divine realm of Doluo was especially unlucky. It had just charged out of the space-time turbulence and encountered a dimensional black hole. The so-called dimensional black hole was much more terrifying than a cosmic black hole. A cosmic black hole would devour anything that dared to approach it, but a dimensional black hole didn't just devour, it would also wipe out everything it devoured. Even a divine emperor would have a slim chance of survival if they were to come in person. In the center of the divine realm, the 6 strongest forces were pouring their divine power into the core with all their might, so that the divine realm could last longer. Damn it! Tang Sin covered his chest with his hand. Fresh blood flowed from the corner of his mouth as he gasped for breath. Yuhao's mouth leaked some blood as he stared coldly at the unimaginably huge dimensional black hole. The divine realm of Doluo was like the difference between the earth and the sun. TSK. Was there no other way? No, there was still a way. However, Yuhao thought of the price of this method and fell into deep thought. I didn't expect that after the space-time turbulence, there would be a dimensional black hole. Tang San said somewhat dejectedly. A dimensional black hole wasn't an ordinary black hole. It was a terrifying existence known as the Universe Strangler. Its existence could be traced back to the time when the Almighty of the 10th universe created the infinite universe. The great unification of 10,000 universes dragged all the universes to the 10th universe. With the 10th universe as the center, they fused together and created the infinite universe. As a result, when all the universes left, the universe's dark energy and dimensional energy combined to form a dimensional black hole that could appear at any time, at any time. It would devour and strangle everything that came close to it. We can't give up like this. We can still hold on. Old fox, if you give up, our divine realm will really be finished. Rong Yinbing looked at Tang Sin seriously and said, Old Rong, you don't understand the dimensional black hole. I've seen many records about it in the records. It's not something we can resist. Tang Sin said with a bitter smile. At this time, Yuhao loosened his collar and walked out without saying anything. Yuhao, what are you doing? The gods hurriedly asked. The divine realm that will save you. Yuhao said indifferently. However, when these words entered their ears, it had a different meaning. The divine realm that will save you? Tang Sin trembled and seemed to have thought of something. Yuhao, come back quickly. Tang Sin anxiously shouted. Forgive me for not being able to comply. From today onwards, the god of emotions, Hui Yuhao, will officially leave Doluo's divine realm. Yuhao said indifferently. Suddenly, flames of different colors burned on his body. At the same time, his aura was rapidly rising. 4 divine positions are burning the divine flame at the same time. Disciple, do you want to die? Stop right now. Rong Yinbing was shocked and hurriedly went forward to stop him. He only had one precious disciple, and he took special care of him. Although they had not known each other for a long time, he had imparted his life's experience to Yuhao. Whether it was magic or cooking, to him, Yuhao was no longer an ordinary master-disciple relationship. It was more like a family relationship. Yuhao turned back and revealed a rare smile. Master, when Yuhao first came to the divine realm, he was all alone. He had no family and was like a lonely wolf. At that time, it was Master who took Yuhao in. Thank you for your teachings and care over the past few decades. You let Yuhao feel the warmth of a family. However, Yuhao is an executioner and does not deserve to enjoy this warmth. Yuhao has no way to repay your kindness. Let Yuhao save the divine realm as repayment. After saying that, he disappeared from the divine realm in the blink of an eye. He appeared outside the divine realm and looked at the dimensional black hole that was getting closer and closer. Disciple, Rong Yinbing shouted and wanted to rush out. However, he was stopped by Tang San and the others. Don't go, old Rong. With your strength, you won't be able to survive a single breath in front of the dimensional black hole. Yuhao's aura had already surpassed that of a godly king. He had broken away from the godly emperor and was now a half-step godly emperor. Yuhao turned back and waved his hand. The enormous emperor power of a half-step godly emperor pushed all of the dimensional black hole's domain. He could still vaguely hear them shouting at him. Disciple, Yuhao. Yuhao turned back and looked at the dimensional black hole. Even a half-step godly emperor is not strong enough. If I can survive, no, I don't think that's possible. If I could be reborn, I really want to experience the feeling of home and the feeling of dating. Yuhao had only loved one girl in his life, Tang Wudong. However, Tang Wudong seemed to despise him at that time. It was no wonder. After all, he was alone at that time. He didn't have any family background and wasn't particularly strong. Therefore, he was still a virgin. Moreover, he had never even experienced dating. Really, I want to experience dating. It doesn't matter, even if I become a girl. Yuhao thought to himself. He looked at the protective amulet in front of his chest. The protective amulet was in the shape of an infinity. He had found this amulet in Dolua's secret realm before he became a true god. At that time, he thought it looked very nice and kept it with him. Moreover, he also felt that this amulet was very special. However, he couldn't put his finger on it. Forget it. Anyway, I've already lost all hope in this world. I'm going to die soon. What's the point of thinking so much? Hui Yuhao looked at the dimensional black hole. The half-step godly emperor aura suddenly erupted from his body. Burning with divine flames, he rushed toward the dimensional black hole. Since he couldn't hide, he would force his way in. He didn't see that just as he was about to rush into the dimensional black hole, his protective amulet suddenly lit up darkness. The surrounding darkness was filled with a terrifying devouring and killing power. Hui Yuhao floated in the darkness. However, his protective amulet emitted a weak golden light to protect him. At this moment, a blurry white figure suddenly appeared from the protective amulet. Hui Yuhao of this universe? I have heard your wish. However, if you want to experience dating, you'll have to pay a certain price. Coincidentally, I know a world that is suitable for someone like you who has lost all hope in this world. I will send you to that world. Chapter 124. In the evening, Aunt Tada, Shido walked in. Yo, Shido, why are you back so late? You can't take this long to buy groceries, right? Huh? Where are the ingredients? Why are you empty-handed? Kotori looked at the empty-handed Itsuki in confusion. They're in here. Shido waved his left hand, and the starlight sapphire on his middle finger flashed, and the ingredients instantly appeared in his hand. Huh? What's going on? Kotori, Shirono, Toka, and the Baba sisters were all stunned. Oh, Shido, Kunoichi. Is this a magic trick on TV? Do it again. Toka's eyes lit up. It's true, it's so magical, Shirono said shyly. It's incredible, but how did you do it, Shiono-san? Could it be that you're starting to turn into an elf? Shirono asked. Elf transformation. Shido is slowly turning into an elf. This battle world wasn't the battle world that everyone saw, but rather a parallel battle world. It was determined that the more elven energy Shido absorbed, the more he would turn into an elf, and there was a chance that he would turn into a girl, even though the process was very slow. Also, this Shido had undergone strict training, had battle experience, and was very smart. However, he was still a human wife plus herbivore. It's not that kind of thing, it's all thanks to this thing. Didn't Miss Ling Een say there's only a small chance of turning into an elf? Shido waved a ring on his left hand. Ah, ring. Kotori's eyes turned into white holes. Oh, Shiono-san, I didn't think you'd become a monogamous wife after coming out. Shirono said, Huh, why do I feel like your words sound weird? Shido thought, what is this? It's so beautiful. Toka stared at the starlight sapphire ring with starry eyes. Cuckoo. Only a godly item like this is worthy of me. Explain. I'm just jealous. The elf spoke one sentence after another. Shido had no choice but to go into the kitchen to prepare dinner. Shido, what the hell is going on with that ring? Kotori came to the kitchen and asked angrily. About that. A girl gave it to me, Shido said. Oh, you're too much. You must have used some kind of method to cheat an innocent little girl out of her ring. Calm down, Kotori. It's like this. Kotori calmed down after Meow. He explained the situation to her. Is that so? So that's how it is. Looks like that girl isn't someone to be trifled with. A ring that can store items and even living beings is not something that human technology can achieve. Then, if that's the case, could it be that the girl? Sure, Dao was no fool. He had already guessed her identity. It's very likely to be an elf, and it's very likely to be an unknown elf. Emperor, Kotori exclaimed as she chewed on her lollipop. But from what happened to you, she might really be like what the information says. She's a kind elf who likes to be feminine. Then, she's an elf that's harmless to humans. Shido said, Don't jump to conclusions, Shido. Even if we know that she's harmless to humans, society and a society won't let her go so easily. After all, she caused a spatial quake that's even more dangerous than the Eurasian disaster. Definitely won't let her go. How can that be? We already know that she won't harm humans. Why? Sure, Dao clenched his fists. There's nothing we can do. Even if we know that she won't harm humans, the spatial quake she caused is still a huge loss. Kotori was also helpless. If she could, she really wanted to save her compatriot. But she was too good at causing trouble. She actually caused a spatial quake that was even more terrifying than the Eurasian disaster. Beep, 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 beep. At this moment, the spacequake alarm sounded ominously. Their expressions changed. Could it be Shido? Kotori hurriedly said. Got it. Shido hurriedly stopped what he was doing and ordered Toka and the others to take shelter. He rushed out of the room and jumped 100 meters away. Shirdao looked back. TSK, she's already turning into an elf? Shirdao muttered. He remembered what Ling Yin told him. The more elves he sealed, the more likely he would become an elf. Moreover, there was a chance he would become a girl. Wouldn't it be great if he became Shirori? What kind of joke was this? How could he become a girl? Absolutely not. Even if I die, I won't let myself wear a dress. Qianling/Mei Jiu sure said. So fragrant. No, now's not the time to think about this. I have to hurry over. Qianling needs my help. Within a large pit, Diyu Qianling was tightly hugging a little kitten. She looked indifferently at the armored girls surrounding her, especially the white-haired girl in front of her. With a single glance, she could tell that she was the captain. She was really unlucky. It wasn't easy to get the kitten, but because she was too excited, she revealed a portion of her spiritual energy and caused a spatial quake. Then, she was surrounded by these guys. Even if you're disguised as a human, there will be a time when you'll give yourself away. That time is now. Give up and be captured. Emperor, the white-haired girl said coldly. Why? Why are you targeting me? I didn't do anything. I just want to live a good life. Diyu Qianling replied indifferently. Shut up. All elves deserve to die. It's the elves who killed my family. The white-haired girl said angrily. TSK, this again. I'm tired of hearing it. Little girl, you look like the strongest in this group. Diyu Qianling kept the kitten in her ring. Little girl, you look about the same age as me. The white-haired girl said angrily. Is that so? But I'm over 10,000 years old. Diyu Qianling said with a smile. You damn elf. The white-haired girl gritted her teeth. Hey. Little girl, I'm not the one who killed your family. Why don't you go find the one who killed your family for revenge? You idiot, Diyu Qianling said to the white-haired girl. The white-haired girl didn't say anything. I want it too. But the other party is Itsuka Kotori, Shido's sister. How could I possibly do that? Actually, it's you who killed your family. Stop talking nonsense. Die Emperor. The girl waved the lightsaber in her hand and slashed at Diyu Qianling. In the next second, Diyu Qianling showed them what it means to catch a lightsaber with bare hands. Diyu Qianling caught the lightsaber with one hand. Everyone's expression was like this. Sigma. What shit? Catching a lightsaber with bare hands. Diyu Qianling knocked the lightsaber away from the girl's hand. It spun in the air and landed in Diyu Qianling's hand. Diyu Qianling placed the lightsaber on the white-haired girl's neck. Leader Origami. The girls behind exclaimed. Little girl, is your name Origami? What cute name. Little girl, your strength can be said to be at the peak of humanity. But it's a pity that you're only at the peak of humanity. And I am not a human, Diyu Qianling said with a faint smile. Origami looked at Diyu Qianling coldly, but did not move. Little girl, why don't you reply? Didn't you say that you wanted to kill me? Stop talking nonsense. Since I've fallen into your hands, you can kill me if you want. You're quite unyielding. You're a werewolf. I hope you don't smell too good. It's quite lively here. At this moment, a teasing voice was heard. A girl with light purple hair, draped behind her back, wearing a princess dress, appeared in front of them. It's the singer. Origami was shocked. The singer was called Temptress Meijio. There were records of her appearing in the past, but it was only once or twice. But every time they fought against her, they would lose. And fighting against her was simply so many cute girls. Temptress Meijio looked around at the girls of a society and then looked at Origami. This one is even better. Her eyes flashed with excitement. Finally, she looked at Diyu Qianling. But the moment she saw Diyu Qianling's beautiful appearance, she was stunned. A strange attractive force made Meijio's eyes unable to contain anyone except Diyu Qianling. Diyu Qianling tilted her head and looked at the purple-haired girl in front of her. She could see that she was an elf, and her appearance could be said to be the especially beautiful kind. Her entire body was emitting a strange aura that would captivate people at first glance. Was this her ability? But it was ineffective against her. So beautiful, really so beautiful. Moreover, it's the same kind. Meijio muttered, Hey, what's your name? Meijio came in front of Diyu Qianling and asked with a faint smile. Her voice was especially magical and moved people's heartstrings. She could control people with a single sound. Looking at the dazed girls behind Origami, it could be seen. However, Origami was actually not affected, which made Qianling somewhat shocked. As expected of great teacher. Diyu Qianling looked at Meijio indifferently and did not tell her her name. I didn't expect to see the same kind. Meijio was stunned. She actually ignored my ability? Interesting. I want you more and more. This toy of yours should be very fun, right? Hey, you seem to be in trouble. Do you need my help? Meijio came in front of Qianling and asked. No need, I can solve it myself. Qianling refused. She hated the way Meijio looked at her. She turned back to look at Origami. Alala, although you said so, but I won't watch my own kind be bullied by others. Meijio and Qianling stood side by side and looked at Origami and the others. Go away. I don't need it. Allah, don't be so polite. Faster, faster. A figure jumped up and down on a tall building and ran towards the place where the space trembled. Shi Dao landed on a building and panted. There were pros and cons to becoming a fairy. His body had long surpassed the human category and belonged to the body of a half-fairy. However, the excessive use of fairy power had serious consequences for him. For example, Shi Dao suddenly covered his chest with his hand and could not help but kneel down. His other hand supported himself against the wall. What's going on? Could it be? It can't be? Didn't they say that the speed of becoming a fairy is very slow? Shi Dao's expression was very painful. Shi Dao did not know that if he did not use fairy power, the speed of marriage would indeed be very slow. However, if he used too much fairy power, then Shi Dao, what's wrong? Hurry up and answer. Kotori's anxious voice came from the wireless earpiece. I'm fine. Oh. Dao felt that something seemed to be gradually forming in his heart. Dao's short blue hair suddenly became long and draped behind his back. This feeling, I'd rather die. Dao realized that his voice seemed to have become more feminine. He already knew what was happening to him. Damn it, Ling Yin was right. At this moment, Dao felt that his heart had turned into a strange crystal. His clothes also began to change into a dazzling black princess dress. Dao slowly stood up and looked around in confusion. Where is this? Dao, where are you? At the same time, Itsuka coterie on the battleship was stunned. The lollipop in her mouth fell from her mouth. Dao. Ling Yin, on the other hand, widened her lazy eyes in shock. How could this be real? In the distance, Diyu Qianling, who had forced Origami and her teammates to kneel on the ground with her monarch domineering aura, suddenly felt a powerful force appear in the distance. When she turned her head, she was blocked by a beautiful face. Hey, what are you looking at? Meijio asked playfully. I'm not looking at you, Qianling said indifferently. Huh, you're so heartless. At the very least, I helped you. Meijio pouted and said angrily. She used her charm to the limit. If it was any other woman or man, they would have been charmed. But who was Qianling? She was once a half-step god emperor. How could she be charmed by a spirit that wasn't even a god? Impossible. I didn't say I needed your help, Qianling said indifferently. TSK. Don't be so disobedient. I'll get angry. Temptress Meijio's tone suddenly became serious. Looks like you want to fight, Qianling said indifferently. Meijio frowned. To be honest, she wasn't good at fighting. But if they really fought, she wouldn't be afraid of anyone. Army Destroyer Singer, Meijio said loudly as a huge organ appeared in front of her. Emperor Throne, Qianling said indifferently as a majestic throne appeared behind her. Qianling sat on it and looked coldly at Temptress Meijio. Temptress Meijio's expression was very serious. When she saw the Emperor Throne, she instantly felt very uncomfortable. An irresistible feeling of submission surged in her heart. But I, Temptress Meijio, am a willful girl. I won't give in so easily. I'm just so unyielding. 1 minute later, I deserve to die 10,000 times. I didn't do it on purpose. Please forgive me. Temptress Meijio knelt on one knee in front of Qianling and said fearfully, Hey, where's your willfulness? Where's your unyielding character? Humph. Qianling curled her lips and snorted coldly. She used the second Heaven Emperor's command ability. Give a forceful command and make that person your subject. Other than yourself, no one else can undo it. She made Meijio her subject. Forgive? Very good. Quickly kneel and lick my feet. Cross out. Ignore this part. From today onwards, you're my second subject. You'll provide funds for my empire. You'll be the financial subject of my empire. Qianling supported her head with her right hand and said indifferently, Yes, my king. Temptress Meijio said in a very Chinibu manner. After thinking for a moment, she raised her head and looked at Qianling fearfully. My king, I have something I don't understand. Oh, who's the first subject? Qianling smiled faintly. Meow. A cat's meow was suddenly heard. The orange-patterned kitten suddenly appeared and lay on Qianling's thigh, sleeping comfortably with its body curled up. This is the first subject, and also your superior, the supervisor, Xiao Ju. She has eyes all over the world. As long as there's a cat, it's her eyes. Xiao Ju, Dao gave Qianling's cat. Qianling gave her the Emperor's command and made her the first subject. She also unlocked super spiritual intelligence and can cultivate. Her current abilities are Imperial Feather Qianling's cat. Make all cats her subordinates and subjects. She can see everything that cats can see with her eyes closed. It's called the cat's vision sharing. In short, this cat has become a cow. To put it simply, this cat has become a demon. Meijio didn't want to talk. She even wanted to kill herself. Meijio really used her head to hit the road, wanting to kill herself. However, she was too stubborn. Not only did she not die, she even destroyed the road. Origami and the other girls looked at Meijio, who was hitting the road in a daze. Why was she hitting her head on the road? Hey, Meijio-chan, I know that you're very excited because you have superior. However, you don't have to be so excited that you hit the road. Don't torture your body like this. Diyu Qianling said. Meijio's current state of mind was like this, I'm not excited. I'm just doubting the existence of a demon because my superior is a cat. Then it's time to go and see what it is that suddenly released the demigod's aura. Diyu Qianling came down from the throne and the emperor's throne disappeared. She immediately used her spiritual detection and saw the figure in the distance. When she saw the figure, she felt her heart stop beating. Her spiritual detection was messed up. Qianling was stunned. That's my type. She hurriedly hugged the little orange cat and looked at Meijio. You can leave now. If there's anything in the future, I will look for you. Meijio bowed slightly and then disappeared, just as Qianling was about to leave. Don't think of leaving. Origami and the others wanted to stop them. However, Qianling snapped her fingers and they knelt on the ground unwillingly. It's best if you don't obstruct me. I have something very important to do, Qianling said coldly. She left without looking back. Origami slowly stood up. The anger in her eyes could not be concealed, as expected of the kindest and strongest fairy. However, I will definitely hurt you next time. She didn't say that she wanted to defeat her because she knew that it was probably impossible to defeat the emperor. Being able to injure her was her goal in the future. Shi Dao looked at her reflection in the glass. Is this me? But what's going on? Why did I become a girl? She hugged her head and said in disbelief. Wasn't I already dead? Why am I suddenly here? This place doesn't look like the netherworld. Shi Dao looked around. Hey, I wonder how you are. Yes, this Shi Dao was not Shi Dao. To be precise, her body was still Shi Dao, but her soul was not Shi Dao's soul. She was Jinshi Chonggong. That's right, she should have died a long time ago. However, she was now alive again. She had become a girl. She jumped lightly, but she suddenly jumped 1,000 meters away. Jinshi was stunned for a moment. She turned around and looked at the place where she was standing before. This doesn't feel like a human's jumping ability. Whoosh! There was the sound of air being torn apart. Jinshi hurriedly turned around, but what she saw were densely packed missiles. Jinshi's eyes widened, and she took a step back in fear. Stop! She shouted subconsciously. In the next second, those missiles magically stopped in midair. Jinshi was stunned for a moment. Disappear! She continued. Those missiles instantly turned into nothingness. This is unbelievable, Jinshi muttered to herself. Just as she was about to leave, a group of girls in mechas surrounded her. At the front was a blonde woman with purple eyes in a white mecha, holding a beam saber in her hand. She looked at Jinshi coldly. This woman, Jinshi was stunned for a moment. She remembered that she was in cahoots with those guys who killed her. Then I'm sorry. Those missiles from before were yours, right? They disappeared on their own. Don't ask me to compensate you. I don't have money, Jinshi said hurriedly. The girls were stunned for a moment and looked at each other. Was this sprite joking? Then they looked at Jinshi coldly. It's confirmed to be a new sprite. Fire. Hot. Two. Densely packed bullets shot toward Jinshi. Jinshi revealed an expression of fear and hurriedly hugged her head and squatted down. She shouted, "Don't kill me." Then a miraculous scene appeared. Those bullets that were supposed to hit Jinshi actually all miraculously turned around and hit the ground when they were about to hit Jinshi. Nanny? Irene was shocked. All the girls were also shocked. Huh? Jinshi looked up in a daze and bowed her head. What's going on? I'm actually fine. Oh, interesting. Did all the words come true? Irene said indifferently. She charged towards Jinshi alone with her beam saber. Jinshi was shocked. Don't come over. She squatted down and hugged her head as she shouted. It's useless. Ugh. Before Irene could finish speaking, she suddenly crashed into the air. Yes, it was as if she had crashed into an invisible wall. Irene fell down and got up. She angrily looked at Jinshi, who was only a few meters away from her. What kind of ability is this? Jinshi sprawled on the ground and slowly moved back. What do you want to do? She trembled as she spoke. Please, can you shut up? I know everything. Your ability is to make everything you say come true, right? So please shut up. Irene seemed to be really angry. She swung her beam saber at Jinshur. Jinshur hurriedly shouted, "Who is it? Hurry up and save me, even if you scream until your throat is broken." Pong! Ah! Irene flew out. When Irene got up again, she saw the spirit she had always wanted to kill in her life. Emperor. Yes, the one who blocked Jinshur was Diyu Qianling, who was holding the kitten. Diyu Qianling didn't look at Irene. She turned around, squatted down, and smiled at Jinshur. Jinshur stared blankly at the beautiful girl in front of her. So beautiful. Who is she? Diyu Qianling helped her up. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for saving me. Jinshur said shyly. What is your name? My name is Shirori. Shirori. Yeah, is that so? Qianling looked at the ring on Jinshur's finger. Yes. My name is Shirori. Oh, then I will call you Shirori-chan. Hello, Shirori-chan. My name is Qianling. Diyu Qianling. Shirori-chan, will you be my girlfriend? Equals carrot, smiley face. Oh, Sigma. Chapter 125. On January 1st, 2050, the Earth has entered the era of high technology, a true era of world nuclear peace. Funny. People's lives can be said to have undergone earth-shaking changes. However, in such a comfortable era, an unexpected thing happened. An asteroid with a diameter of more than 50 kilometers was rushing towards the Earth at an extremely fast speed. When major countries learned about this, they put aside their old and new grudges and joined forces to develop the latest destructive weapon, the Star Destroyer sniper bullet. They directly shattered this unfriendly asteroid into countless small fragments. Just when major countries didn't start to celebrate, something unexpected happened. The fragments of the shattered asteroid burst into strong lights of different colors and directly rushed into the Earth's atmosphere, scattering all over the world. However, the imagined big explosion didn't happen. However, on the second day after the incident, something unbelievable happened all over the world. All the female babies who were less than a month old showed strange changes. For example, if there was a female baby next to her, as long as there was water, it would instantly gush out and envelop the female baby. Also, a baby girl's bones were abnormally soft. She could directly use herself as a point and directly twist her waist 360 degrees. More importantly, her jumping ability was abnormally strong. There was also a baby girl. As soon as she was born, all the insects gathered in front of her. And as soon as a baby girl was born, her whole body suddenly burst into flames. Everywhere in the world, such things were too many to count. Of course, most of these things happened to baby girls. Of course, there were also some young and old women who suddenly discovered that they suddenly obtained strange abilities. Every country sent out investigation teams and found that these things only happened to girls. The investigation team didn't find any boys with strange abilities. These girls who had obtained special abilities quickly grasped these abilities. However, it was precisely because they had these special abilities that they were seen as different by the people around them. As a result, they were discriminated against. These girls and baby girls naturally did not play together with their friends of the same age. In fact, their friends even began to distance themselves from them. In order to let these girls have an ordinary life, all the countries in the world joined forces to establish a school on a large uninhabited island in the Pacific Ocean. The full name was KIP College, or KIP College for short. Here, they specially accepted girls with special abilities. Because they were all girls, this school had another name, and that was KIP College for Girls. In the 6th year after the establishment of this school, mutant creatures frequently appeared all over the world. The so-called mutant creatures were ordinary animals and plants that had strange mutations. They all obtained extremely high intelligence, and their bodies also underwent special changes. They became a kind of terrifying monster. The investigation team of every country determined that it should be the genetic mutation caused by the meteorite fragments. Those monsters were called the exotic devil beasts. Ordinary weapons didn't have any effect on those monsters at all. Just when the countries were at a loss, the dean of KIP College led the older girls to step forward bravely and compete with those exotic devil beasts. They found that the exotic devil beasts were divided into many types, but they didn't really have no weaknesses. Since they were mutated creatures, then they could use their special abilities to deal with them. Just like this, KIP College, which was originally just to provide a common home for the girls with special abilities, became a superpower college that trained the girls with special abilities to fight against the exotic devil beasts and protect the Earth. Why was it said to protect the Earth? Because their opponents were far from just the exotic devil beasts, and the story we're going to tell will slowly unfold from this background. Chapter 126. Hey, aren't you guys being too quiet? Say something, Yuhao said as he stuffed a piece of meat into his mouth. Tang Xiao, and the other 7 girls remained silent. Yuhao didn't know what to say. However, at this moment, he seemed to have thought of something. Since they weren't going to talk about it, then he would find a topic to talk about. He said to Tang Xiao, when I was on my way back from grocery shopping, I passed by Beijing and saw a girl who looked very much like you. She had long, pinkish blue hair and your school's emblem on her shoulder. She should be the little sister that you often tell me about, right? Oh, cough, cough, cough. Tang Xiao suddenly trembled and choked on her food. She looked at Yuhao anxiously and said, How is she? Is she okay? Is she hurt? Did she get kidnapped by bad guys? The other 7 people were a little surprised to see Tang Xiao was so anxious. They had known her for a few months, and she had always been very cold. This was the first time they had seen her so anxious. Yuhao smiled. It seems like she's most likely the one. Don't worry, she's not injured. As for kidnapping, it won't happen. No idiot would kidnap someone who has the ability to control insects, not to mention someone who can absorb the power of insects for their own use. You don't know, but our school forbids us from abusing our superpowers in the city. If we use our superpowers in the city, it will cause panic and scare the civilians, Tang Xiao said. Then use the memory eraser to erase their memories. After Yuhao finished speaking, he took out a small stick made of an unknown metal. There was a button on the tip of the stick. He threw this thing to Tang Xiao. Tang Xiao hurriedly caught it and looked at it carefully. She said with some shock, This thing, isn't it something from the American MID organization? Why do you have it? I stole it, Yuhao said indifferently. You? Tang Xiao was speechless. Do you think there's a place on Earth that I can't go? Yuhao smiled calmly. Tang Xiao was stunned for a moment. Then she revealed a helpless expression. That's right. The person in front of him was someone who could easily enter and exit places like the Pentagon and Area 51 with ease. If she had not seen it with her own eyes, she would not have been able to imagine it. Beep, beep, beep. Just then, an alarm sounded outside the door. The red-haired girl immediately stood up. Someone actually broke in here. I'm going to kill her now. The golden-haired little girl hurriedly stopped her. Little Xia, don't go. The young master hasn't said anything yet. The red-haired girl was taken aback, but she could only sit down obediently. Yuhao gently closed his eyes. 3 seconds later, he opened his eyes again. He looked at Tang Xiao with amusement. You're being followed, he said with a faint smile. What? Who can follow me? Tang Xiao was shocked. Yuhao smiled and said to her, You'd better go out and ask her. Tang Xiao was a little confused, so she could only walk towards the door. When Tang Xiao opened the door of the villa and went out to take a look, she was stunned. She saw a huge cage outside the gate of the courtyard, and a young girl was locked in the cage. The young girl had a head of pinkish blue hair. She was grabbing the cage and shaking it with all her might, shouting, Let me out! Let me out now! Shout on! What are you doing here? Tang Xiao frowned and shouted at the young girl. It's Big Sister. Big Sister, hurry up and save me. I can't get out. This cage is so strong that even I can't pull it open. Tang Xiaodong seemed to have seen her savior. She hurriedly waved and shouted at Tang Xiao. Tell me why you're here first. Tang Xiao came to the front of the cage and said with her arms crossed. She couldn't help but sigh in her heart. Sigh. This girl is the same as me when I first came here. She fell into this trap. Even I couldn't pull this cage open, let alone your strength. This cage isn't made of metal from earth. I can't save you because even I can't pull this cage open. Tang Xiao shrugged and said, What? Even Big Sister can't do it? Big Sister, don't you have 100 tons of strength, scary now? Why can't you even pull this cage open? Tang Xiaodong was very shocked. You'll have to ask the person who locked you in here. No, I forgot to ask about something serious. Tang Xiao patted her head and looked at Tang Xiaodong. You secretly followed me, didn't you? You even got lost in Beijing, didn't you? Oh. Tang Xiaodong stuttered and couldn't say anything. She lowered her head, slightly like a child who had made a mistake. Tell me, why did you follow me? Tang Xiao said to her indifferently. I was worried about Big Sister. Big Sister, ever since you went to Sky Mountain, you seem to have changed into a different person. I want to know why Big Sister changed, so I followed Big Sister here to see what changed Big Sister. In the end, I found this place. Tang Xiaodong confessed. Tang Xiao was stunned and then said indifferently, I can't pull this cage open. You'll have to beg its creator. However, who told you to trespass into his house? Look at it now. He doesn't even want to come out. Then that means I can't get out? Sob. No, I was wrong. I shouldn't have trespassed into his house. I know I was wrong. Please forgive me. Tang Xiaodong cried and said loudly in the end. Tang Xiao clenched her fists slightly. She wanted to help her too. After all, Tang Xiaodong was her younger sister. However, she didn't do so because she was like her in the past and trespassed into someone else's house. In the end, she was locked up in a cage the moment she stepped into the courtyard. No matter how hard she tried, she couldn't pull the cage open. At that time, not only was she locked up in the cage, she was locked up there for an entire week. Fortunately, Yuhao would talk to her and bring her food every day. Otherwise, even if she didn't starve to death, she would have died of loneliness. A week later, Yuhao actually released her miraculously. Before Tang Xiao left, she even said ruthlessly, I'll be back. Wait for my revenge. I'll definitely defeat you and wash away the humiliation you've inflicted on me. Yuhao, hey, I didn't do anything to you at all. Thus, she became enemies with Yuhao just like that. However, every time she came, she would be completely defeated by him. Sometimes she couldn't even defeat his 7 subordinates. Tang Xiao shook her head helplessly and shouted at the villa. I said, my sister already knows she was wrong. Can you let her out? Creak. The door slowly opened, and Yuhao walked out with a harmless smile on his face. You are. Tang Xiaodong was so shocked that she almost fell down. Her right hand trembled as she pointed at Yuhao. She couldn't say anything for a long time. Yo, long time no see. Yuhao smiled faintly and greeted her. So, you're the owner of this house. You know my sister? Wait a minute. My sister would come here on the last 7 days of every month. This means that my sister came here every month to have a rendezvous with Yuhao. Could it be that my sister and he have already committed to each other? You're married? Do you have children too? Sister, you're too much. Why did you secretly find me a brother-in-law? Tang Xiaodong spat out a bunch of words based on her bold thoughts. Tang Xiao's pretty face suddenly became angry. What nonsense are you talking about? Yuhao, and I don't have that kind of relationship. If you continue to spout nonsense, I won't save you. Even Yuhao might not care about you anymore. However, she silently glanced at Yuhao to see how he would react to Tang Xiaodong's words. However, she was disappointed. Yuhao was still smiling, and his expression didn't change at all. Your sister is so cute. It seems like she cares about you a lot. Since she dared to come here alone, it proves that she cares about you a lot. However, you don't seem to get along well with her. Why? Yuhao said as he walked in front of Tang Xiao. Tang Xiao didn't say anything and turned her head to the other side. Yuhao looked at Tang Xiaodong again. Tang Xiaodong lowered her head in self-reproach. What happened between the two of you that caused your sister's relationship to be so strained? Yuhao looked at Tang Xiao and asked, This is our family matter. It has nothing to do with an outsider like you. Tang Xiao's tone was a little cold. Sigh. That's right. After all, this is your family matter. However, I have to tell you that she's your sister. Don't do anything stupid. No matter what she did in the past, she's still your sister in your family. Yuhao said calmly. He then snapped his fingers. Boom! The cage instantly disintegrated and sank into the ground. Tang Xiaodong was so scared that she fell to the ground. Yuhao walked over and helped her up. Then he looked at Tang Xiao and said, To be honest, I envy you. Although your parents are gone, you still have your family. As for me, he didn't continue. He looked up at the sky, and a trace of sadness appeared in his eyes. As for my family, I'll never see them again. Tang Xiao and Tang Xiaotong were stunned. But you still have Xiao Meng and the others. Tang Xiao said. Xiao Meng? Tang Xiaodong was confused. We're not young master's family. We're just his subordinates. The blonde girl with glasses led the 6 people out of the villa. Tang Xiaodong was shocked. When did they appear? Were they also superpowered people? In our hometown, we're the lowest class of people because we don't have more than 3 abilities. In our hometown, most people have 3 to 5 abilities. People like us who only have less than 3 abilities are despised by everyone. However, young master doesn't have that. Although young master is in a high position, he has never looked at us with contempt. Young master even took us in and nurtured us. In the end, we became heroes and received everyone's respect. Young master is just our young master. Our relationship with young master is not that of a family. Xiao Meng said very calmly. Yuhao looked at the 7 girls. He wanted to say something, but he didn't know where to start. Actually, I think that Yuhao has already seen you guys as his family. Tang Xiao looked at Xiao Meng and the others and said. The 7 of them were stunned. Even the girl with short white hair who had been playing games stopped and raised her head. They said at the same time, We have low-class mortal bloodlines. We can't be family with young master, who has a divine bloodline. Yuhao's body trembled slightly. He looked at them and said sternly, That's enough. Do you guys care so much about your low-class status and bloodlines? So what if you have a low-class status? So what if you have a mortal bloodline? Didn't you guys still become the 7-star guardians in the end? Didn't you guys still become people who are respected by everyone in the end? Remember, you guys are my subordinates. You guys are my family. All of you are my last family. Do you hear me? Young master. Xiao Ming's voice was trembling. The others were speechless. They had been interacting with young master as servants. However, young master would be unhappy every time. They didn't know why young master was unhappy. Now that they thought about it, perhaps young master was unhappy because they treated him as a servant. So there's someone else here. Tang Xiaodong said in shock. You're Miss Qiu's sister? You look so similar. Hello, I'm Tian Meng. Everyone calls me Xiao Meng. The leader of the blonde girls said to Tang Xiaotong. Oh, hello. I'm Tang Xiaotong. Tang Xiaotong greeted her. Xiao Meng pulled out the girl with the dark green twin tails and said to Tang Xiaotong, She's Bing. We call her Lil Bing. She has a bad temper. Don't treat her like an outsider. Hello. I'm Tang Xiaodong. Tang Xiaodong greeted Bing. Bing snorted. She broke free from Xiao Meng's hand and returned to the villa. It's okay. She's just like that. She's a little afraid of strangers. Xiao Meng said with a smile. Whoosh. A gust of cold wind blew towards Xiao Meng. Xiao Meng had already noticed it. She took off her glasses, and her aura instantly became very terrifying. Her eyes flashed with a golden light, and the cold wind instantly dissipated. Tang Xiaodong felt this shocking aura. It made Tang Xiaodong feel as if she was facing a majestic mountain. She looked at Tang Xiao and realized that Tang Xiao seemed to be used to this aura. Is it really okay for you to introduce us to outsiders like this, Xiao Meng? The girl with long white hair walked over and said lightly. She didn't seem to be afraid of Xiao Ming's aura at all. The others seemed to be used to it. Of course it's okay. She's Miss Qiao Er's sister. That means she's not an outsider. Xiao Shui. Xiao Ming put on her glasses again. The glasses were her original body. She had a gentle look on her face again. Oomph. The girl with long white hair snorted. She looked at Tang Xiaodong and said lightly, Shueli, hello. It was a plain sentence, but it was considered a greeting. Oh, hello. I'm Tang Xiaodong. Tang Xiaotong said nervously. These people were so scary. I'm Lilia. Please take care of me. I'm Bai. Please take care of me. Don't ask me what my full name is. Bai is Bai. The girl with long blue hair and headphones and the girl with short light blue hair came in front of Tang Xiaodong and said. The girl with short white hair was playing a game with her head down. She had a lollipop in her mouth. She looked as if she hadn't woken up yet. She raised her head and found Tang Xiaotong looking at her. She took out a card and handed it to Tang Xiaodong. Then, she lowered her head and played the game again. Tang Xiaodong looked at the card and saw that it said Ba Xian Shui Yu. Please take care of me. Okay. It seemed like she wasn't good at communicating with people. She seemed to be an otaku. Also, Ba Xian Shui Yu? What a strange name. Hey, little girl, you better behave yourself. Don't touch anything here. It's very dangerous here. Your sister already felt it when she first came here. So, if you're smart, you'd better listen to me. A red-haired woman said coldly. Her tone seemed to be warning and threatening her. Don't scare her. Xiaodong, don't be afraid. She's little Xia. Don't ask too much. She doesn't like people mentioning her full name. Xiao Ming pushed her glasses up and said to Tang Xiaotong. Tang Xiaodong didn't know why, but she felt like she had entered a den of thieves. Who are these people? There were already a few people who were hostile to her. Chapter 127. Sister, that person just now, why did he come to our academy? Tang Xiaodong asked Tang Qiao. Tang Qiao shook her head. I don't know either. Why did he come to the academy? Beep. The virtual combat room's speaker suddenly sounded. Students, today's assessment might be different from before. It's no longer the survival assessment. Instead, all of you will have to deal with one person. Only those who survive in the end will be promoted to a new class, Class X. In Class X, you will receive a higher education. Then, I wish you success. The voice stopped there. Suddenly, all the students were in an uproar. What? Asking all of us to fight one person? Isn't this bullying? We have more than 100,000 people. Asking all of us to fight one person? This assessment is too simple. Haha. Class X? Higher education? That sounds great. I must enter Class X. Of course, there were some smart people who noticed a hint. For example, Tang Shan and the others. Tang Shan looked at the crowd. Did you guys notice that the announcer just said that it was the last person to survive in the hands of that person? This proves that there is a time limit to this assessment. Moreover, that person is definitely very powerful. So powerful that he can deal with more than 100,000 of us alone. How can there be such a terrifying person? Dai Ruabai said in shock. No, there is. There really is such a person. Tang Xiaotong said hurriedly. Oh, have you seen him before? Dai Ruabai looked at Tang Xiaotong. Before Tang Xiaotong could say anything, Tang Qiao suddenly nudged her. My sister has been reading too many fantasy novels recently. Don't listen to her nonsense. Hey, so you're a fan of fantasy novels? I am. How can one person deal with more than 100,000 of us? If there really is such a person, then I will marry him. Remember what you said? Dai Ruabai said casually. Tang Xiaodong looked at Tang Qiao and whispered, Sister, what are you doing? We can't tell a secret. Otherwise, he will be angry. Tang Qiao said, He will be angry? Then, I better not say it. Tang Xiaotong immediately covered her mouth. What are you mumbling about? Tang Shan looked at them. Nothing at all. Tang Xiaotong smiled awkwardly. Even if the person we're going to fight isn't one against 100,000, it's very likely to be a very powerful elite teacher. Therefore, we have to calm down first. It might be difficult for us to win against that person alone, so we have to find other teams to cooperate with, Tang Shan analyzed. Those of you who disagree can raise your hands. No one. I agree with Sister Shan. Xiao Wu was the first to speak. As long as it doesn't hinder us, it's fine, Dai Ruobai said. No problem, Ma Xiaohong and Zhu Yueqing said. Whatever, it doesn't matter, Tang Xiu said indifferently. If we're talking about a team, I know one, Tang Xiaodong said weakly. Oh, meanwhile, on Bei's side, the person we're going to deal with is definitely very strong. We can't do it alone, so we have to ally ourselves with someone else. This way, our chances of winning will be higher, Curtis Bei said. The others nodded in agreement. Ally with someone else. Huh, they're already here. Su Tianshan saw Tang Xiaodong and the others walking over from afar. Ah, it's Xiaodong. Xiaodong. Xiao Xiao hurriedly waved her hand. Tang Xiaotong also waved her hand, and the two sides gathered together. However, why are you here? Dai Ruobai looked at Ma Xiaotao angrily. Half of the sharp claws on her right hand were also revealed. It's you? Why are you here too? Bastard. Ma Xiaotao's fist sparkled. Sister. Ma Xiaohong's small voice sounded. Ma Xiaotao finally noticed Ma Xiaohong and was slightly stunned. Just as she was about to say something, Dai Ruobai interrupted. If I knew you were in this team, I would have been the first to reject you. That's what I wanted to say too. Ma Xiaotao said, not to be outdone. Hey, we're all teammates. Don't quarrel with each other. Tang Shan hurriedly stood between the two of them to mediate. Oof. If Xiao Shan didn't stop me, I would have beaten you up, Dai Ruobai said angrily. Do you think I'm afraid of you just because you're stronger than me? Ma Xiaotao said fiercely. Sister, stop quarreling, Ma Xiaohong suddenly said. Xiaohong. Ma Xiaotao's gaze was somewhat evasive. At this moment, the broadcast suddenly sounded. Everyone present, move quickly. Bring the virtual presentation device. Prepare to enter the virtual battle. You're lucky, don't drag us down, Dai Ruobai said coldly. Then, she put on a strange pair of glasses, which seemed to be made of strange metal. The others also put on the same pair of glasses. Ma Xiaotao curled her lips and touched the syringe in her pocket. She remembered what the mysterious person told her a few days ago. This thing can be used even in the virtual world. It's up to you whether you dare to use it or not. If you use it, you'll have invincible strength. Ma Xiaotao looked at Dai Ruobai, who was walking into the battle room. Oomph. Just you wait. A hint of decisiveness flashed in her eyes. Somewhere on the high platform, a blue figure silently looked at Ma Xiaotao's figure. She was also wearing the same strange metal glasses as the students. She slowly said, the Carlos stimulation element is not something that can be found on Earth. Could it be that the people of Carlos' planet have begun to invade Earth? After a moment of absent-mindedness, Tang Xiu and her team opened their eyes again and found that they were surrounded by a dense forest. At this time, their glasses had disappeared. The battlefield this time is the forest, Tang Xiu said indifferently. It seemed that no matter what the battlefield was, it had nothing to do with her. There should be a lot of insects here, right? Tang Xiaodong looked around. The environment here is suitable for me, Dai Ruobai said excitedly, as if she was a beast returning to nature. The wood element is also suitable for me, Tanya murmured. It's best if we don't scatter. Be careful of being attacked by other teams, Tang Shan said. Isn't our enemy that mysterious enemy? Xiao Wu suddenly said. That's right. Our common enemy is that person who hasn't appeared yet. However, I believe that the other teams must be attacking other teams right now. Because of this, they will have fewer competitors. When they fight with the mysterious expert, they won't have to worry about the fisherman who benefits from the battle. This way, they can shift their attention to the expert. Those who dare to do this must be a team that is confident in their strength. For example, Z and Lu. When they work together, they are a very powerful team. Moreover, they have other partners. Tang Shan said. Z and Lu. Tang Xiu clenched her fists. If Tang Xiu were to name her strongest opponents, Z and Lu would definitely be troublesome to deal with. Z and Lu were twins who had been abandoned by their parents when they were young. They didn't even have a name. In the end, they were taken in by the mysterious principal of KIP Academy. Z and Lu were the names that they had given themselves. Z's ability was destruction. Anything that her hand touched would instantly turn into ashes. Therefore, she could only wear a pair of specially developed gloves every day. Lu's ability was instant recovery. That's right, instant recovery. No matter how serious the injury was, as long as the person wasn't dead, they could instantly recover. I feel that this ability is very buggy. Stop talking. Let's hurry and find that mysterious opponent. Dai Ruabai said, Big sister, how much do you know about the enemy? Are we going to find him now? Our understanding of the enemy is zero. We are fighting against an unknown enemy. We are definitely at a disadvantage. Tang Shan said, But does the enemy know about us? We aren't afraid of him. Who cares if he's a person, a ghost, or monster? Find him and beat him up to pass, right? Go. Let's find that mysterious expert. Dai Ruabai said very confidently. However, before they could take a few steps, boom, they heard the sound of fighting. Everyone raised their heads and saw that the huge virtual screen was rapidly showing the faces of young girls, followed by the word out, and the number of people was still increasing. What's going on? How did everyone get out so quickly? Dai Ruabai said in shock. It seems that we greatly underestimated the enemy's strength, Tang Shan said with a frown. To be able to eliminate so many ability users at once, what kind of expert is he? Curtis BB said in a serious tone. I don't know. In any case, it's not someone we can deal with right now, Tang Xiao said indifferently. Let's go, Tang Shan hurriedly said. Then she ran out, and everyone followed closely. Tang Shan ran while saying, We have to find those who haven't been kicked out. Find them before they are attacked by the enemy. Hey, why do we have to save the others? Isn't it good to have fewer competitors? Dai Ruabai asked. If it was in the past, the fewer competitors the better. But today is different. We have to immediately find those who haven't been kicked out. Otherwise, I'm afraid we won't even see the enemy's shadow before being kicked out. Tang Shan said solemnly. Oh, you have a smart child here. An ethereal voice sounded. It caused the girls to tremble. They hurriedly looked around and found that there was nothing. Who is it? Come out. Don't play tricks. Dai Ruabai's sharp claws instantly stretched out. He's not here. This is an ability similar to the 1,000-mile sound transmission ability, Tang Xiao said with a frown. It really was him. But why would he appear here? Who are you? Tang Shan asked solemnly. Who am I? Hee. Didn't you want to find me? However, you should rejoice because you're the first team that didn't come to find me. Also, let me remind you, don't waste your time looking for the other teams because they are all here with me. However, they will be eliminated in the next second. The voice sounded again. Aren't you afraid of boasting? Before Dai Ruabai could finish speaking, the virtual screen in the sky instantly showed a pile of photos of the other team members, followed by the huge English letter out. Among them, there were some powerful enemies and friends that they knew. Best team, purple and green. Ice and fire dual heaven merging wish. Sword demoness, Ji Yanchen. Weather demoness, Jing Zian. Dai Ruabai was silent because she couldn't close her jaw. Did you get slapped in the face? Does it hurt? Ma Xiaodao mocked from the side. You shut up. Dai Ruabai was mad with anger. Where are you? I'm going to beat you up right now. She angrily roared at the sky. Come and find me? Do you know that you're now the last team? The voice sounded again. What? Everyone was shocked. Even if you didn't come to find me, I would have gone to find you. You should hide now. There's still 5 minutes. As long as you can endure it, you will pass the test. Are we the kind of people who only know how to hide? We are not afraid of you. Come find us. Dai Ruabai said angrily. Big sister, stop talking. Tang Shan hurriedly stopped her from continuing. Oh, you are so confident? Okay, I'm coming now. The voice stopped abruptly. Big sister, you'll kill us all. Tang Shan said angrily. Whether or not the enemy can find us is another matter. If we don't go find her, how could she find us? However, just as Dai Ruabai's voice fell, a voice came from behind them. He. I found you, Dairobai. Face slapped Emperor of the Year #you. The girls looked as if they had seen a ghost. Immediately, a figure with long blue hair and wearing a sun hat appeared not far away from them. Looking at the figure, it was a girl with a very good figure. This, how is this possible? Dairobai said tremblingly. How did she know we were here? Your face hurts. Ma Xiaodao mocked her again. What did you say? Dairobai angrily stared at Ma Xiaodao. Stop arguing. What time is it now? Why are you still fighting? The enemy is at our door. Tang Xiao said solemnly. This figure was indeed him. Tang Xiaodong was so shocked that she could not speak. Why'd he come here? And dressed as a girl? We don't even know the strength of this enemy. Tang Shan murmured. Damn it. Dairobai gritted her teeth. Ma Xiaodao touched her pocket. The injection was indeed there. That person didn't lie to me. This injection can actually appear in the virtual battle room. Then, if I use this, can I defeat her? Almost everyone present fell into despair. You are the team that survived to the end. Then, I will give you 3 choices. First, you eliminate yourselves so that I don't have to do anything. Then, you will continue to repeat the year. Second, you will think of a way to survive the last 4 minutes. Third, you will think of a way to defeat me, and you will pass. The blue-haired girl wearing the sun hat said indifferently. Everyone was silent. They had to think of a way to stall for time. Hee. Do you think I will fall for it? You are deliberately stalling for time by not speaking, right? Do you think I am an idiot? The blue-haired girl suddenly rushed towards them. Oh no. Su Tian Shan sure. Defend. Curtis BB said hurriedly. Okay. Su Tian Shan sure instantly rushed to the front of everyone. Her hands crossed, and a transparent barrier instantly covered everyone. Come. No one will be able to break through my absolute defense. The one who can break it is the hero in my heart, the one I love. Su Tian Shan sure revealed a confident smile. Where do you get your confidence from? You are overconfident. Little girl. The blue-haired girl raised her right fist and punched towards the barrier in the blink of an eye. Humph. I already said am absolutely. But before Su Tian Shan sure finished speaking, there was a gotcha sound. Su Tian Shan sure's absolute defense, under the shocked gazes of her and the people behind her, instantly collapsed. How is this possible? Su Tian Shan sure was shocked. What did you want to say? Absolutely what? More like a slap in the face. The blue-haired girl held the sun hat with her left hand and shook her right hand. Then, she punched towards Su Tian Shan sure. You. How is this possible? Su Tian Shan sure said absent-mindedly. She even forgot to dodge. Seeing that the blue-haired boy's fist was about to hit Su Tian Shan sure, vines instantly sprang out from the surroundings and wrapped around the blue-haired girl's feet and hands. But in less than 3 seconds, the blue-haired girl easily broke free. Plant control. Dairobai was shocked and looked at Tanya behind her. She saw that her face was pale and she was sweating nonstop. Isn't your ability to sense plants? Dairobai said in a daze. They all looked at Tanya in surprise. However, even Tanya herself was stunned by this matter. Her ability actually had the ability to control plants. She had just been thinking about saving Su Tianshan sure. Then, she felt that the plants around her seemed to have understood her words, and then vines sprang out of them. Temporary awakening. Unfortunately, it is only temporary. The blue-haired girl waved her hand, and vines instantly appeared around her, instantly wrapping around them. She lifted them into the air. This is... Everyone was shocked. They all wanted to struggle, but the more they struggled, the tighter the vines wrapped around them. This should be considered bondage play, right? That girl called Tanya. Open your eyes wide and look. This is the correct way to use your ability. The blue-haired girl said indifferently. After she finished speaking, the towering trees around them suddenly rose from the ground as if they were alive. They actually used their own roots to slowly walk towards them. Plant control? Tanya was shocked. Lilia, this girl, She has the same ability as you. Curtis Beebe said in shock. Not only that, there's also Tang Chi, Er's monstrous strength. Dairuabai's sharp claws wanted to cut off the vines, but her hands and feet were tightly bound and she could not move at all. Damn it, Tang Shan roared. Boom! Then everyone looked into the distance. What a big commotion. What was that? But then they saw a huge flood rushing towards them. Tang Shan? Did you do it? Dairuabai looked at Tang Shan in shock. I gathered all the water in a radius of tens of kilometers to form a flood. I don't believe it can't drown her. Tang Shan said angrily. Hee, little girl, I didn't expect you to be so black-bellied. But do you think the flood will work on me? The blue-haired girl did not seem to be worried at all. The flood was getting closer and closer. Just as it was about to reach the blue-haired girl who was still standing on the ground, what happened next stunned everyone. The flood actually split in half and rushed towards both sides. The girl just stood there calmly. That's absolute defense. Su Tianshan looked at the transparent barrier around the girl in shock. The true absolute defense, no matter when you're using it or not, it will appear around you as you wish. Did you see it clearly? The blue-haired girl said indifferently. It was obvious that she was talking to Su Tianshan. What's going on? Right now, she had already used 3 abilities. What's going on? Everyone said in shock. It's a flood. I can also use it. The blue-haired girl adjusted the sun hat on her head and then casually waved her hand. The flood that was about to be washed away suddenly began to flow back. What? Tang Shan was shocked. This is my ability. But then they found that it was different because the flood was getting bigger and bigger. Finally, it formed a 100-meter-high, tsunami-like landscape. In front of the tsunami, they were as small as ants. Everyone was speechless. I followed the river and pulled the water from the sea to form a tsunami. Black-bellied girl, this is the correct way to use your ability. Not only do you have to learn how to control the water in the river and lake, but also the water in the sea. The blue-haired girl said indifferently, seeing that the huge tsunami was about to drown everyone. At this time, the earth suddenly drilled out a very tall earth wall, blocking the oncoming tsunami. Hey, the power of the earth element was used like this by you? The blue-haired girl with the sun hat murmured. Tuzi, well done. Curtis Bebe looked at Tuzi and said. Tuzi looked weak and kept panting. Hurry up and think of a way. My earth wall can't hold on for long. We must quickly break away from these vines. Leave it to me. Ma Xiaohong said. In the next second, her whole body began to burn with flames, and she suddenly became a flaming person surrounded by raging flames. The vines on her body were instantly burned, and then flames burst out from her feet. Relying on the propulsion of the flames, she could fly in the air. She spat out a fireball towards Tang Shan, Dai Ruabai, and Zhu Yiqing, and it happened to hit the vines on their bodies. After the 3 landed, they immediately got into a battle stance and looked at the blue-haired girl not far away. Ma Xiaodao's hands also condensed flames and burned the vines on her body. Then, she burned the vines on Curtis Bebe and the others. Everyone was saved at the same time. They landed on the ground and looked at the blue-haired girl vigilantly, especially Tang Xiu'er and Tang Xiaotong. They had fought with him before and knew how scary he was. Yueqing, we're counting on you. Tang Shan suddenly shouted. Zhu Yiqing suddenly disappeared with a whoosh. Actually, she didn't disappear, but entered the hyperdrive world. The hyperdrive world was a world where one could run faster than the speed of sound. Equivalent to clock up in the armor-fighting world. At this moment, in Zhu Yiqing's eyes, the entire world seemed to be in slow motion. It was like a slow-motion movie. Tang Shan and the others seemed to be frozen. Their movements were very slow. Zhu Yiqing ran towards the blue-haired girl and punched her. Her ability was to surpass the speed of sound. Until now, she still didn't know how fast she could go. At least, her current speed was 4 times the speed of sound. In the entire school, there were many people with hyperdrive abilities, but no one was faster than her. However, just as she started running, she realized that something was wrong. Because she realized that no matter how she ran, she couldn't get close to the blue-haired girl. It was as if she was running on the spot. This what was going on. Space extension. Increase the distance between you and me. With your speed, increase the distance between us. This way, even if you run for your entire life, you won't be able to touch me, the blue-haired girl suddenly said calmly. What? Zhu Yueqing was shocked. You can actually see me in hyperdrive? You have my ability to? She instantly reacted. This person, she actually entered hyperdrive too. Is there a need to be so surprised? Girl, even if you accelerate to superluminal speed, you won't be able to catch up to me. However, your extreme speed ability doesn't seem to be superluminal speed at the moment. You still have to train more. After the blue-haired girl finished speaking, she threw a punch at Zhu Yueqing. Her speed was unimaginably fast. Before Zhu Yueqing could react, she was hit and instantly flew out. She was directly hit out of the super speed world and rolled on the ground 10 times before stopping. Tang Shan and the others then saw Zhu Yueqing lying on the ground in a very sorry state. What happened? What happened in those few seconds just now? Tang Shan asked in a daze. Cough, cough. Everyone run. We are no match for her. She seems to be able to copy anyone's ability. Zhu Yueqing stood up and said seriously to everyone. What? Tang Shan and the others were shocked. Of course, other than Tang Qiu and Tang Xiaodong, they knew that Yuhao's ability wasn't copying. Hee. Little girl, if you say that my ability is copying, then you are ignorant. I am not copying. If you want to talk about copying, then you're the real copies. Every one of you, as well as all the girls with special abilities in this academy, as well as the other girls with special abilities outside, all of their special abilities are copying mine. The blue-haired girl said calmly. What did you say? You said that our abilities are all copies of yours? What a joke. Dai Ruabai was the first to rush up. With a flick of her hands, pitch-black claws shot out and grabbed at her. The blue-haired girl adjusted her sun at. She casually raised her right hand and clenched it into a fist. Then, 3 sharp claws sprouted from the back of her hand. They were silver in color and looked dazzling under the sunlight. What? Dai Ruabai stopped in shock, but the blue-haired girl didn't plan to stop. Her claws were still extending, and in an instant, they were more than a meter long. Actually, the claws can be longer, but I'm afraid of scaring you, so I'll give you a 1-meter long claw first. Arrogant girl, this is how to use your claws. After saying that, she grabbed at Dai Ruabai. Dai Ruabai hurriedly dodged, and the wind brought by the sharp claws left deep marks on the ground. Dai Ruabai felt a chill run down her spine. If she was scratched, even if she had an abnormal self-healing ability, it would definitely hurt like hell. Little girls, you shouldn't be thinking about how to deal with me right now. Instead, you should be taking care of that. She pointed at the huge tsunami behind them that was blocked by the huge earth wall. At this time, Yueqing Tuzi was already half kneeling on the ground. She had been holding on to the large earth wall and paying attention to the blue-haired girl. This caused her to consume too much energy, and she immediately became weak. The earth wall also began to tilt, and cracks began to appear. Chapter 128. Sister. Ma Xiaodao knelt on the ground, trembling. Tears flowed down. Hey, Ma Xiaodao, hurry up and pull yourself together. It's not like you're dead. Why are you crying? Dai Ruabai walked over and said angrily. Yo, don't be distracted. The blue-haired girl instantly appeared in front of Dai Ruabai and kicked her. Dai Ruabai crossed her arms and blocked the girl's kick, but she suddenly retreated 10 meters before stopping. She shook her hands, which were numb to death. The power of that kick, could it be Sister Zhao's ability, the explosive power of her legs? Earth cage. Hitoshi touched the ground, and rock pillars like a cage surrounded the blue-haired girl. The blue-haired girl smiled and disappeared in the blink of an eye, and Hitoshi appeared in the earth cage. What's going on? Hitoshi didn't react. Space displacement? Su Tianshan was shocked. My hidden ability. Hidden ability refers to an ability that the owner can't use, but can occasionally trigger, as if it's passive. She actually knows it too, and she can use it directly? Rock burial. The blue-haired girl lightly clenched her hands, and the rock pillars instantly began to squeeze inwards. Ah! Hitoshi's scream sounded, and then Hitoshi appeared on the screen in the sky. Outside, another one eliminated. Oh my god! Hitoshi took off her glasses and suddenly woke up, panting nonstop. Too scary. That girl, who is she? She looked at the big screen. Now, she could only rely on them. However, in the next second, she saw Su Tianshan, who was in absolute defense, get pierced through by the blue-haired girl's sharp claws and her chest. Then, she disappeared. Silence. Everyone present fell into a state of silence. Su Tianshan and the others all knew that she was the ability user with the highest defense, but now, she was also eliminated. Su Tianshan took off her glasses and took a deep breath. Damn. Strong. Too strong. That person is really strong. It's a pity that she's a girl. If she's a guy, I'll marry her. She looked at the big screen in the sky, the domineering blue-haired girl leaking out. Damn it. Even absolute defense was taken out by her. Tang Shan said seriously. We still have a chance. Dairobai jumped out and said indifferently. Big sister, could it be that you want to? Tang Shan seemed to have realized something. Originally, I didn't want to use it because once I enter the wild state, it's very difficult to take it back. Dairobai said. But now we have no choice but to use it. Dairobai pulled off the 2 bracelets on her hands. Then, Dairobai's body began to tremble violently. Her blood circulated rapidly, and bursts of red light burst out from her body. Her body began to expand, and her height instantly soared to 3 meters. Her battle suit was burst by her body, leaving only her pants, the same brand as the Hulk, right? Her palms became huge, and long fangs grew out of the corners of her mouth. The claws on her hands became very sharp, and layers of red fur appeared on her body. Her pupils became the pupils of a beast, and her ears became sharp. She also grew a furry red wolf tail. Tang Xiaoer, Tang Xiaodong, and Ma Xiaodao were all shocked. She could actually become a beast man? Tang Shan's face was full of worry. She knew that Dai Ruabai could become a human only because of her and the higher-ups of the academy. This was because once she became a beast man, her wild nature would devour her reason, and she would completely become a beast. Outside, oh my god, Senior Dai actually has this trump card. Senior Dai has become a beast man. No, this is a werewolf, right? So wild. Spectators stand. Yu Xiaojiang's pupils constricted. Oh no, her wild nature did not differentiate between friend and foe. She would attack her teammates. Oh, her wild nature has been unleashed. The blue-haired girl said with a faint smile. Then she took out a bone. Come here, puppy, there's a bone here. A wolf. Dairoabai's eyes were red as she rushed toward the blue-haired girl. Ha! A person without reason is just a beast. The blue-haired girl curled her lips. Then the bone in her hand instantly became bigger. If a small bone can't satisfy you, then what about a big one? Puppy? Tang Tang Xiaodong, Ma Xiaodao, and Tang Shan's mouth twitched. You're deliberately provoking her. Oh, Dairoabai seemed to be even crazier as she clawed at the girl. Oof. Have a safe trip, puppy. The blue-haired girl instantly waved the big bone in her hand and sent Dairoabai flying out of everyone's sight. Then on the screen in the air, Dairoabai was knocked out. Outside, everyone saw that even the beastman Dairoabai was instantly killed. Damn, can you be any more awesome? Dairoabai, who took off her glasses, kept panting. Just a moment? She returned to her original form in just a moment. The teachers in the spectator stand had already exploded into a pot of porridge. There was a lot of discussion. Pervert. This teacher. She's simply cheating. Oh my god. What kind of monster is this? Yu Xiaojiang stared blankly at the blue-haired girl on the screen. Principal, where did you find such a cheat-level existence? Oh yeah. Look at my home run. I'll send the puppy home. The blue-haired girl threw away the big bone and moved her fist as she said with a smile. Next. The blue-haired girl saw Ma Xiaodao take out a syringe. Hey, stupid girl. I advise you not to use that thing. It's not a good thing. The blue-haired girl shouted at Ma Xiaodao. However, Ma Xiaodao did not respond. She grabbed the syringe and stabbed it into her neck. Injection. The syringe slowly slid to the ground. Ma Xiaodao covered her head with a painful expression. Ah! Ma Xiaodao looked up at the sky and screamed. Hey, are you okay? Tang Shan asked. Tang Xiao, who was hiding her ability, instantly felt the danger. She hurriedly pulled Tang Xiaodong and Tang Shan back. Boom! From Ma Xiaodao's body, a purplish-black flame suddenly burst out and covered her whole body. Her eyes turned completely black. There was no other color except black. Behind her, wings formed by the purplish-black flame appeared. Ah, this is my power, Ma Xiaodao muttered to herself. It's over, it's too late. The blue-haired girl patted her forehead, but she still did not show a serious expression. Outside, sister, Ma Xiaohong looked at Ma Xiaodao on the screen in shock. No way. How is this possible? Dai Ruobai was shocked. Was she injected with hormones just now? I don't know, but I feel that it's not a good thing. Ma Xiaohong said worriedly. Spectator stand. What was that? Yu Xiaojiang showed a serious expression. What was that syringe just now? It actually allowed Ma Xiaodao to activate her special ability in an instant. Carlos stimulating hormone. It has the effect of stimulating ability users and making their ability temporarily stronger. However, once you use this, you will be addicted to that power and be unable to extricate yourself. In the end, you will become a walking corpse. The blue-haired girl said indifferently, I don't mind. The feeling of controlling a powerful force is really too good. I want to kill you. Ma Xiaodao said crazily. She slowly raised her right hand, and a huge amount of magma suddenly rushed out from the ground around the blue-haired girl. The magma was controlled by Ma Xiaodao and attacked the blue-haired girl. Alas! Fortunately, I found the antidote on that Carlos person, the blue-haired girl said to herself. She did not take the magma seriously at all. Just as the magma was about to reach her, something miraculous happened. The magma was instantly frozen. Yes, the high-temperature magma was instantly frozen. What? Ma Xiaodao was shocked. Tang Xiao'er, Tang Xiaotong, and Tang Shan looked at the frozen magma in a daze. It was as if there was flowing magma in the ice. This kind of thing was actually seen by them. Outside, there was an uproar. Even the magma is frozen. Can you be any more perverted? It's not over yet, Ma Xiaodao said angrily. She raised her hands, and a huge fireball instantly condensed in the air like a small sun. Go to hell. All of you, go to hell. She threw the sun-like fireball at the blue-haired girl. The blue-haired girl calmly stretched out her hands. Don't tell me she wants to catch the fireball with her bare hands? Tang Shan said in a trembling voice. I think that's probably what happened. Tang Xiao'er and Tang Xiaodong did not seem surprised at all. In the next second, the blue-haired girl indeed caught the fireball. I'll return it to you. She threw the fireball back at Ma Xiaodao. Boom! The fireball exploded in the air. The sparks flying everywhere were as beautiful as fireworks. Ma Xiaodao's figure flew out of the sparks, completely unharmed. In fact, she was even angrier. Oh, are you angry? The blue-haired girl said calmly. Ma Xiaodao gritted her teeth. You forced me to do this. Ma Xiaodao stretched out her hands, and the temperature of the flames on her body began to rise rapidly. The surrounding space began to distort. Cough. Burn. Burn. Ma Xiaodao suddenly coughed out fresh blood. Then, she swooped down at the blue-haired girl. Her target was the blue-haired girl. Oh, you want to die together with me? The blue-haired girl said calmly. If it was a complete burn, I would have to treat it seriously. However, your burn, before she could finish her sentence, Ma Xiaodao, who was burning with extremely high temperature, had already crashed into the blue-haired girl. The horrifying heat caused the ground to melt. However, under everyone's shocked gaze, Ma Xiaodao was only a distance away from the blue-haired girl. However, she could not get close to her. "You can't even break through my defense if you burn like this," the blue-haired girl said calmly. "How is this possible?" Ma Xiaotao's pupils shrank. The blue-haired girl suddenly grabbed Ma Xiaotao's neck and pressed her to the ground. Then, she sat on Ma Xiaotao's stomach and used her other hand to lightly touch Ma Xiaotao's forehead with a bit of cold air. In an instant, the temperature on Ma Xiaotao's body dropped to normal. Little fire, if the heat is too strong and the temperature is too high, it will cause adverse effects on your body. "I'll help you return to normal," the blue-haired girl said calmly. "Bastard, let me go. Get off me." Ma Xiaotao raised her head and looked angrily at the blue-haired girl who was on top of her. Her body was still struggling. However, when she saw the beautiful face under the sun hat, she forgot to struggle. She was so beautiful. She did not expect her to be so beautiful. Wait. From my perspective, I can see that under her skirt, there seems to be a dong. The blue-haired girl took out a hammer and smashed it on Ma Xiaotao's head. Ma Xiaotao's eyes turned into spiral mosquito coils, and she fainted. "Just now, I think I saw something. Phew. That was close." The blue-haired girl threw away the hammer and sighed in relief. It was good that she did not notice. Then, the girl took out a syringe. The liquid was blue. Fortunately, that Carlos person had the Carlos stimulant antidote. Otherwise, I would have to go back to the Heaven Mountain Universe Vault to look for it. It's so troublesome to find an antidote among so many things. The blue-haired girl muttered to herself. After saying that, she injected the syringe into Ma Xiaotao's neck. After the injection, Ma Xiaotao's face returned to normal. It was not as red as before. Then, Ma Xiaotao disappeared. Ma Xiaotao out. Chapter 129. Skydream and Xie Yin felt that their worldview had been refreshed as they watched everyone summon their gaseous martial force proficiently and transform it into a gaseous martial force. This could it be that Earthlings were all so awesome? No wonder young master would teach them without any hesitation. It turned out that he already knew of their talent. Earthlings are so scary. A few female voices sounded. Skydream and Xie Yin didn't need to turn around to know that the others had arrived. Xie Yin didn't turn around and said unhappily, "Did you guys come here just to laugh at us?" "Who would? We came a long time ago. We were just hiding in the shadows." Shuer and Bing walked over and said indifferently, That's right. We wouldn't do something like peeping. Definitely not." Xiao Bai and Lilia said with a sincere face. Xiao Xian, who was playing games with a lollipop in his mouth, raised his head and looked at Xiao Bai and Lilia. Hey, you're indirectly admitting that you were spying on me earlier, okay? However, we were shocked to see that their gaseous martial forces were all high level and above. Shuer said, although they aren't as awesome as our young master. Ba Xian, who was playing games, added, That teacher's who is the young master that you guys keep talking about. Is he very strong? Tang Shan asked. Don't you guys know? He's your class teacher. Skydream said. Is it teacher Xi and Yuqian? Everyone said in shock, except for Tang Xiao and Tang Xiaotong. That's right, he's our young master. Skydream nodded. Anyway, they didn't know which he was. Everyone stopped talking. In a virtual world, Xi and Yuqian's battle strength completely crushed their team. They weren't even on the same level. In layman's terms, they were level 1, while Xi and Yuqian was level 100. This was the difference. How strong is our class teacher? Can you guys tell us? Dai Ruabai suddenly said. How strong? The 7 teachers looked at each other, as if they were hesitating whether or not to speak. After a moment of silence, Skydream said, We don't know exactly how strong the young master is. We've never seen the young master truly display his might. Even when our homeland was in danger, the young master didn't dare to display his full strength. That's because the young master once said that he didn't use his full strength because he was afraid that he would accidentally destroy this region of the universe. As he finished speaking, a trace of admiration flashed across the eyes of Skydream and the other 6 people. Everyone didn't want to say anything. Was it that scary? He was actually afraid of destroying the universe. The day passed quickly, and at night, all the girls were lying on the ground in exhaustion. Although the day was very tiring, they benefited a lot. They learned things that they couldn't learn in the academy before. Phew. Teacher, can we go back and rest now? Tang Shan raised her hand and said, Go back and rest. You don't have to go back to rest in the future. I've already prepared your rooms here. Sky Dream said, What? Everyone was shocked. Even our rooms have been prepared? That's right. Your form teacher, Xin Yuqian, directly built a room that was exactly the same as the one you used to live in. She even went to your apartment to move your things over. Xie Yin said indifferently, Go and wash up. There's a private bathhouse here. Ah, there's a bathhouse. That's great. We can have a good bath now. The girls immediately disappeared. Hey, Xie Yin, isn't it inappropriate for you to say that? Sky Dream said, What's inappropriate about it? Isn't just a bathhouse? Xie Yin said indifferently, But the bathhouse is right beside the young master's private open-air hot spring. Sky Dream said, They wouldn't be so stupid as to go to the hot spring, right? Girls like them who have been educated should know that trespassing on other people's hot springs is very impolite. At the same time, in the villa's private hot spring, an enchanting figure was soaking in the huge, foggy hot spring. A head of long blue hair floated on the surface of the water, and that figure was tidying her hair, dispelling the fog. The person soaking in the hot spring was Xin Yuqian. No, it was Yuhao now. Soaking in the hot spring every day, life is so nourishing. Yuhao had a towel on his head, and his hands were leaning on the steps. This was his private hot spring, and he was indeed very rich and inhumane. Furthermore, this type of hot spring had the effect of instantly healing injuries, eliminating fatigue, and strengthening one's physique. It was a hot spring unique to the god planet that he came from. Oh, so comfortable, Yuhao said as she stretched her slender waist. At this moment outside, I didn't expect there to be a hot spring here. That's great, sisters. Come quickly. There's a hot spring here. Come soak in the hot spring. It's real. That's great. We can soak in the hot spring properly. The girls pulled open the door with their towels, walked in, and then they were all stunned. Because, opposite them, Yuhao was soaking in the hot spring with a dazed expression, staring blankly at these girls who had suddenly appeared. Tay, teacher? Everyone asked in a daze. Why? Teacher, we also want to soak in the hot spring, Tang Shan said indignantly. But this is my private hot spring. How did you get in? Yuhao asked with a red face. But there's no sign outside. Please don't enter. Tang Xiao said indifferently. Although she looked calm, her heart was racing like 10,000 alpacas. Naked. It's naked. That's the extremely rare naked body of Yuhao. Oh, she could feel her nose starting to heat up. Tang Xiaodong, who knew that Yuhao was a boy, also blushed. Just as the girls were considering whether to soak in the hot spring, Tang Xiao was the first to rush over. She did a 360-degree somersault and landed accurately in the hot spring. Water splashed everywhere, and she accurately landed on Yuhao's side. 10 points. She was panting heavily. Although her back was facing everyone and they couldn't see her, Yuhao could. Yuhao was shocked and didn't react in time. I'm coming too. Tang Shan also jumped into the hot spring and approached Yuhao. With the first, there would be a second, a third, and a fourth. Not long after, all the girls had entered the hot spring. Ah, Sigui, this hot spring is so comfortable. Yeah, I feel like all the fatigue from the day is gone. That's right. Seeing that all the girls came uninvited, Yuhao was a little angry. Just as he was about to leave, Tang Shan suddenly attacked him from behind and hugged the unprepared Yuhao from behind. Ah! Yuhao, who was ambushed, screamed. All the girls looked over quietly. Ah! That's too much. Sister Shan is too much. Xiao Wu said angrily. Oh, there's still good students. Yuhao thought, but that wasn't the case. Hui Yuhao. Her face was as red as the fiery red setting sun. Can I ask Eranx to withdraw from the church? The next day, Xin Yuqian walked out of the villa with a calm expression. Tang Shan and Xiao Wu, who had been punished to stand outside for an entire night, had dark circles under their eyes. As for why they couldn't move, it was because Xian Yuqian had immobilized them. As punishment, he wanted these students to understand that he wasn't someone to be trifled with. Teacher, we were wrong. Can you let us go? Tang Shan moved her lips. Xian Yuqian poured a cup of tea and slowly sipped it. She glanced at them and ignored them, continuing to drink her tea. Gather, Xian Yuqian shouted after finishing her tea. Gather. Hurry, hurry. We can't be late. Don't push me. Let's go. Put on your clothes, wash your face, and brush your teeth. Wait, let me wash my hair first. Don't rush me. Put on some makeup first. Xian Yuqian stood outside, enjoying the cool breeze as she waited for her students. Sure, this is very feminine. Xian Yuqian's lips twitched. She reached out and snapped her fingers. Whoosh! All the girls instantly appeared before her. Some of them were combing their hair, some were washing their hair, and some were putting on their clothes. They were only wearing teddy bear underwear. In short, Xian Yuqian was in for a treat. Unfortunately, his calm expression said, I've seen too much. You guys have no sense of time. What did I tell you last night? Gather at 7, and you're still dressing up? Aside from Tang Shan and Xiao Wu, everyone else is to put on these and run from the mountain to the foot of the mountain. 100 times. Xian Yuqian said coldly. She casually tossed out a set of black uniforms with a large silver X in the middle. No way. The girls cried out in surprise. What? Do you have a problem with that? Xian Yuqian waved her right hand, causing the air to tremble. The girls fell silent. After that, Tang Xiu'er was the first to walk out. She picked up a uniform that had been thrown on the ground and put it on. Instantly, she felt as though she was carrying a heavy mountain. Tang Xiu'er's pupils shrank, and she bent her back slightly. I knew it. He had let her wear this uniform when they met in the past. She had plenty of experience, so she wasn't afraid. But the others might not be. Just as she was thinking this, the others were all crushed when they put on the uniforms. Some collapsed to the ground, while others knelt. Oh my God, what is this? I can't take it anymore. My waist. Looking at the screaming girls, Tang Shan and Xiao Wu suddenly felt like their punishment of not sleeping for an entire night was already very light. This is too much. I protest. Teacher, you're abusing your students. Dai Ruabai, who was pressed to the ground, shouted indignantly. That's right, that's right. At Dai Ruabai's words, the other girls' accumulated anger exploded as well, except for Tang Xiu'er and Tang Xiaotong. After all, they knew Yuhao's temper very well. Protest? Xian Yuqian glanced at them. So you're saying that you won't listen to me? That's right. So what if we do? Dai Ruabai said angrily. Although she was talking back to Xian Yuqian, she had talked back to the teacher many times in Class A. She was a rebellious girl who refused to be disciplined. Xian Yuqian narrowed her eyes and smiled. She slowly walked up to Dai Ruabai. You're very disobedient. At this time, Dai Ruabai seemed to feel that the atmosphere was strange. She felt that something very bad was going to happen. At this time, Dai Ruabai seemed to feel that the atmosphere was strange. She felt that something very bad was going to happen. Boom! At this moment, a boulder the size of a small mountain suddenly appeared above Dai Ruabai's head. It instantly pressed down on her, along with the girls around her. Tang Xiu'er activated her superpower at the crucial moment, and at the same time, brought her sister along and narrowly avoided the boulder. As for the other girls, I'm sorry, but they're being completely suppressed. Everyone, don't be nervous. I'm your teacher, so I have my own way of dealing with disobedient students. Isn't that reasonable? I know. Lee is that car repairman who used a wrench to kick the ball. Xian Yuqian looked at the girls who had fainted under the boulder. If you knew this would happen, why did you do it in the first place? You should have listened to your teacher. All right, you two. Xian Yuqian looked at Tang Xiu'er and Tang Xiaotong. Yes, Tang Xiu'er and Tang Xiaotong replied. What are you standing there for? Hurry up and run. Do you want to be crushed under the boulder too? Yes. We're running now. Tang Xiu'er tactfully dragged Tang Xiaotong down the mountain. Huh. Next, you two. Xi and Yuqian looked at Tang Shan and Xiao Wu. The two girls suddenly trembled. They looked as if they were looking at a demon. How is this a teacher? She was clearly a demon. Yes, you two weren't allowed to sleep because you didn't have any manners last night. The consequences of flirting with a teacher are very serious, Xi and Yuqian said with a smile. The two girls suddenly realized that they seemed to be able to move. The two of them were so scared that they sat on the ground and hugged each other. They slowly moved back. The fear in their eyes was like two little Lolas afraid of a pervert. Why are you so scared? Relax, relax. I'm a very gentle teacher. I've already thought about your training. Don't worry, just bear with it for a while. Xi and Yuqian walked toward the two girls with a saintly smile. After all, she wasn't a demon. Don't come any closer. Don't come any closer. Bu Jingyun's face. The two girls retreated in fright. It's okay, it's okay. Really, just bear with it for a while. Then Tang Xiu'er and Tang Xiaotong, who had run thousands of meters away, suddenly heard two earth-shattering screams from behind them. The two of them didn't want to look back, nor did they dare to. They continued to run down the mountain in silence. However, with every step, they felt their uniforms getting heavier. However, compared to the miserable girls up there, it seemed that they were the lightest ones. After sending Tang Shan and Xiao Wu into the space of terror and the other girls under the small mountain into the endless illusions, Xi and Yuqian leisurely went to the beach at the edge of the island. She lay down on a deck chair and read a comic book. You're really strict. At some point, another recliner had appeared beside him. Iranx, who was wearing sunglasses and a black bikini, was lying on it. Strict? This is already the most merciful way to train Ming, Bing, Shui, Ba, Ya, and Yen. Xi and Yuqian continued reading. You're right. This is also the most suitable way to train them. Irax sipped her juice. By the way, why are you dressed like this? Xi and Yuqian glanced at Irax. La, you finally noticed. How is it? Do I look good? I picked it out with great care. Irax sat up and pushed his sunglasses down a little. It does look good. Irax blushed like a little girl when he heard Xi and Yuqian's first sentence. If the higher-ups of the academy were to see this, their eyes would fall out of their sockets. The head of our 10,000 years single girl group, commonly known as the FFF girl group, was blushing in front of a female teacher. This was the season for the white flowers to bloom. But why did you buy a D cup? Aren't you flat? What did you stuff it in with? My Xi and Yuqian seemed to be quite straightforward. Are you all right? Xi and Yuqian asked in confusion. I am fine. Irax giggled. HM. Just then, the two of them looked towards the sea in the distance. A few hundred nautical miles away, a huge island was swimming towards them. La, an SSS Tier 1 is coming. Irax stood up and smiled. A turtle, Wang Situ. Xi and Yuqian stood up and said calmly. Then who's up? Irax looked at Xi and Yuqian. Xi and Yuqian didn't say anything. She just used her index finger and middle finger to form a sword and slashed toward the island. Nothing happened for 10 seconds. Xi and Yuqian turned around. Let's go. With that, she left. Irax turned back to look at him. Then, when she turned back again, she saw that the sea was suddenly split into two halves. The giant turtle in the distance was also split into two halves very symmetrically. Poor little boss. It was farmed as a wild monster. It's done. I have another SSS tier magic crystal for my collection. Irax covered her mouth to hide the way she licked her lips. Chapter 130. Preface. The beginning of the origin in the vast and boundless universe. There were thousands of stars, as many as dust. A bright light streaked across the peaceful universe and fell toward a huge planet. Boom! When the light collided with the planet, a terrifying big explosion erupted in an instant, and the terrifying aftermath directly destroyed this vast universe. Even the dominators of other universes felt the terrifying vibration. The next moment, those dominators of other universes took out the myriad universe magic mirror at the same time, wanting to see what had made their universes feel the vibration. A huge explosion scene appeared in the myriad universe magic mirror. When they saw the 10th universe destroyed by the terrifying big explosion, those dominators couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. What kind of terrifying power was this? It actually destroyed a universe in an instant, and judging from the speed of its spread, it didn't seem to have any intention of stopping. Could it be that this explosion intended to engulf the other universes? Just when they were afraid that there was such a terrible power in the world, boom, a strange, loud noise spread throughout all the other universes, and the time of the entire universe stopped. The entire universe fell into a brief silence, and the big explosion of the 10th universe also stopped spreading. A man appeared in front of the still big explosion. He had long black hair and a very handsome appearance. What was strange was his eyes. The pupil of his left eye was golden, and his right was a rotating white vortex. A strange Rubik's Cube floated beside him. My God, it's worthy of Big Brother's power. Just a trace of power leaked out, and it can destroy the 10th universe. And it seems that if this power isn't stopped, the entire universe will be doomed eternally. Alas, fortunately, fate calculated everything and asked me to follow otherwise. He muttered to himself. Then, the ancient golden watch of his left eye began to rotate counterclockwise. Well, let me think, okay. Let's return to the beginning. Following that, something miraculous happened. The originally still explosion suddenly started moving again. But this time, it didn't spread, but retracted inward. The surrounding planets that had been destroyed suddenly appeared again, but then disappeared. It was as if they had existed before, and now they didn't exist anymore. What was happening in front of them was as if time had flowed backward. After that, the entire 10th universe became pitch black, and there was nothing left. Oh no, except for the unimaginably dazzling light ball in the darkness. When the man saw the massive light ball, he felt sad. Why, brother? You're an original god. Why do you have to come to this small, weak universe to play? Forget it. This is all I could do to help you. With that, he disappeared from where he stood, as if he had never practiced it before. A blurry and petite figure slowly emerged from the ball of light. Thank you, space-time. An ethereal voice sounded. Boom! The huge ball of light suddenly started to tremble. Then, it slowly turned into countless tiny light particles that floated in the surroundings. Those tiny light particles miraculously started to enlarge and turned into huge planets. The originally empty universe became a universe with numerous bright stars. What was left of a huge ball of light was a small ball of light. Then, the small ball of light seemed to have a life of its own as it flew towards the nearest star. The dominators of other distant universes also had their time restrictions lifted. They looked doubtfully at Universe 10, which had returned to its original state. How strange. Wasn't it destroyed by a huge explosion just now? Why did it return to its original state? Moreover, why didn't they feel the existence of life in the current Universe 10? It was as if they had returned to the beginning of the universe. In a desolate and uninhabited great star, this star was very big, so big that it was unimaginable. A golden light streaked across the horizon and fell on a towering peak. The aftermath of the fall emitted a strange energy fluctuation, which began to transform this great star. For a long, long time, not a single cultivator knew that the earliest immortal cultivation world was born from this. Carefree travels, the first tour, endless vicissitudes. In the beginning of the immortal calendar, the star began to form the essence of heaven and earth, referred to as heaven and earth spiritual energy. The first living creatures, demon beasts, were born. That period was called the beginning period by later generations. In the 150 million year of the immortal calendar, thousands of demon beast clans stood in great numbers and became the dominators of this star. The 7 top demon beast clans were the True Dragon Clan, the Heavenly Phoenix Clan, the Kirin Clan, the Kuin Clan, the Sacred Tiger Clan, the Great Void Turtle Clan, the the golden-haired nine-tailed fox clan, and the spirit monkey clan. The various clans deceived each other. The weak were prey to the strong, and the war was endless. That era was the era of demon beasts. It was the world of demon beasts. It was the golden age of demon beasts. In the records of the immortal calendar, this era was called the Myriad Demon Era. In the 200 million year of the immortal calendar, the spirit monkey clan of the demon clan underwent a strange evolution. Their bodies gradually became creatures that could stand on 2 feet and possessed high intelligence. Moreover, after they became this new creature, their cultivation speed was more than 100 times that of demon beasts. This new creature had a talent that demon beasts could not compare to, and that was the so-called innate spirit root. After that, the evolved spirit monkey clan broke away from the demon clan and established themselves as an independent race. They were called the human clan. They were viewed as enemies by the demon clan. From time to time, they would fight with the human clan. And every time, the ones who suffered were the weak human clan at that time. In the 250 million year of the immortal calendar, the human clan established a cultivation system and divided people of different strength into different realms. They were the body refining, chi refinement, foundation establishment, core formation, golden core, nascent soul, out-of-body, spirit separation. To be honest, I could reach this realm in class. Combination, Mahayana, and tribulation transcendence. These 10 realms were the early stage, middle stage, late stage, and peak stage. Actually, each realm also had the legendary extreme stage of perfection, but unfortunately, there were very few who had reached it. The beginning of immortal cultivation began. In the 250 million year of the immortal calendar, the human clan created a variety of cultivation methods, with the strongest 9 arts as the leader. No one knew how the human clan understood these things. Another million years later, the 5 basic professions of the immortal cultivation world appeared: alchemy, artifact, formation, talisman, and medicine. The human clan instantly surpassed the demon clan and became the overlord of the immortal cultivation world. No one knew how the human clan understood these things. In the 260 million year of the immortal calendar, the spies of the demon clan finally knew why the human clan rose so quickly. It was because every 10,000 years, the highest and largest mountain in the immortal cultivation world would emit a strange light. At that time, the human clan would send people into it. When they came out, they would obtain some strange memories and spiritual treasures. The demon clan did not know much about that mountain. After all, that mountain was in the human clan's territory. According to the higher-ups of the human clan, that mountain was called the Xiaoyao mountain range. It was a place full of opportunities and dangers. It would only open once every 100,000 years. Many people went in, and there were thousands of them. However, very few came out. Only a dozen people came out. However, the people who came out quickly improved their cultivation and became strong cultivators of the human clan. Also, those who went in could not go in again unless they were recognized by the mysterious existence in the mountain range. Then, the demon clan set their eyes on that mountain full of opportunities. In order to enter that mysterious mountain, the demon clan negotiated with the human clan for a long time. After several years of negotiation, the human clan agreed to let the demon clan send people in, but only 100 people. The demon clan did not say anything was wrong with this. However, when they went in, they found that it was extremely dangerous. As soon as they came in, they heard an illusory voice say, "Powerhouses above the great vehicle stage are not allowed to enter this place." After that, all the powerhouses above the great vehicle stage were suppressed to the form synthesis stage in an instant. The demon clan was shocked. Who on earth was it? It actually suppressed so many powerhouses above the great vehicle stage to the form synthesis stage in an instant. However, this was just the beginning. They had stayed in that mountain range for tens of millions of years. They had endured a hellish life for tens of millions of years. Especially the stairway of 3 lifetimes that made them hover between life and death. It made them experience the feeling of being reincarnated again and again. However, it was all worth it. Their cultivation improved very quickly. Their mental states were also very strong, and they each obtained their own spiritual treasures. Of course, those who could not withstand it were naturally eliminated by the Xiaoyao mountain and turned into dust and disappeared into the horizon. When the survivors went out, they found that less than a week had passed outside. Oh my God! The time in the Xiaoyao mountain was different from the time outside. They had stayed in there for tens of millions of years, but less than a week had passed outside. In the 300 million year of the immortal calendar, in the history of the immortal cultivation world, the first immortal to successfully pass the tribulation appeared. It was a beautiful and enchanting human cultivator named Tian Royale. Speaking of Tian Royale, it was necessary to introduce her. Her talent was absolutely rare in the world. An 8th-9th grade heaven spiritual root. This talent was absolutely unprecedented. She began to cultivate at the age of 3. At the age of 6, she reached the foundation establishment stage. At the age of 8, she reached the golden core stage. At the age of 12, she reached the nascent soul stage. At the age of 18, she passed the tribulation at the age of 26. She was known as the most heaven-defying person in history. After that, she passed the tribulation at the age of 50 and became an invincible, immortal emperor. She had an eternal lifespan. It must be known that those who had cultivated to the passing tribulation stage had almost unlimited lifespan. However, it was only close to unlimited lifespan. It was not true that they were immortal. When they reached the peak of the passing tribulation stage, the heavens would send down the 9 heavens tribulation. Those who passed it directly could become an expert of a higher realm, an immortal. Those who could not pass it would have their primordial spirit destroyed. If they were lucky, they could become a loose immortal. Every 1,000 years, they would have their own thunder tribulation. If they passed it, they could continue to live and their strength would increase greatly. However, those who could not pass the last tribulation would have their primordial spirit destroyed and reincarnated. Until now, in the world of loose immortals, there was no loose immortal who could pass the last tribulation. If they could pass it, they could become an immortal. Tian Riao's 50 years of cultivation time had far surpassed those experts of the older generation. It must be known that those experts were old fellows who had cultivated for more than 1,000 years. However, compared to her, they were simply envious and jealous. Tian Royale's 50 years of cultivation was actually equivalent to their lifetime. Note, the knowledge of realms was given to those who had passed the test by the mysterious existence in the Xiaoyao mountain range. The realms of the immortal world were divided into subimmortal, loose immortal. Strictly speaking, loose immortals were not real immortals, but they were stronger than many immortals. High immortal, also known as true immortal, heaven immortal, golden immortal, Tai golden immortal, Daluo golden immortal, 10 directions immortal monarch, undying immortal monarch, invincible immortal monarch. The appearance of the first immortal in the history of the human race caused the entire immortal world to be in an uproar. One must know that she was the first immortal in history. When the demon race saw that the human race had an immortal monarch, they did not dare to provoke the human race anymore. One must know that the gap between a cultivator and a true immortal was very large. It was like a drop of water and a vast ocean. Moreover, this immortal was the most powerful immortal monarch. After that, everyone gave Tian Royale a resounding title, the first immortal in history. Jade Heaven Emperor. Those experts of the immortal world all wanted to curry favor with Tian Royale, the first immortal in history. However, Tian Royale, the number 1 immortal of all times, didn't care about them. She didn't even say anything about the name they gave her. After she stabilized her cultivation, she did something unexpected. That was to forcefully break through the carefree mountain range that only opened once every 100,000 years, where both opportunities and dangers coexisted. However, what shocked everyone was that even with Tian Riao's invincible immortal monarch strength, She could not even shake the restrictions of the Shaoyao mountain range. This caused the entire immortal world to be stunned. She seemed to want to save something inside. From Tian Royale's mouth, she found out that the reason she could become an immortal monarch was because she met that mysterious existence in the Shaoyao mountain range. Moreover, she obtained the true teachings of that mysterious existence. That mysterious existence taught her as his disciple for 99,990,000 years, the time inside the mountain range. She said that in order to repay his kindness, she would do everything in her power to save him. However, that mysterious existence teased her that even if she became an immortal monarch, she was still too weak and would not be able to save him. He even told her that he was willing to stay here. Unfortunately, Tian Royale had an expression of, "I won't listen. I won't listen. I will definitely save you." After that, the number one immortal of all times, the Jade Heaven Emperor, wielded the Emperor-grade immortal weapon, the Heaven-Tearing Axe. Every day, she would hack at the carefree mountain range, hoping to break the invisible restriction. This reminds me of Chun Xiang hacking a mountain to save her mother. Many people did not understand why she would do this. What kind of existence was that existence? Even an immortal monarch could not save him. Every night, Jade Heaven Emperor would hack at the mountain range's restrictions. Over time, everyone got used to it. They wouldn't disturb her, and they didn't dare to. 1,000 years later, Jade Heaven Emperor finally broke a crack in the restrictions. A mysterious force instantly enveloped her and pulled her into the Shaoyao mountain range. Not long after, Jade Heaven Emperor was sent out again. However, she came out very sorrowful. A few decades later, a mysterious sect appeared in the human race. It was the Nine Purity Palace, a sect that only recruited female cultivators. The first sect leader was Jade Tian, Jade Heaven Emperor Royale. But since then, no one had seen the Jade Heaven Emperor again. It was as if she had disappeared from the immortal cultivation world. Some said she committed suicide, some said she lived in seclusion, and some said she left the immortal cultivation world. Yes, she did leave the cultivation world. She went to the universe and created the first immortal world since the birth of the universe. She established the order of the immortal world. Any cultivator who passed their immortal tribulation had two choices. The first was to ascend to the immortal world. The second was to roam the universe. However, if they died, they could not blame anyone. After she arranged everything, she disappeared without a trace. She did not live in the immortal world. No one knew her whereabouts. Perhaps only that existence in the Shaoyao mountain range knew. In the 330 million year of the immortal calendar, the second immortal appeared in the cultivation world. It was a golden dragon of the true dragon tribe, Ao Shinran. She was the most talented member of the true dragons. However, she was a girl and was not favored by her tribe. She was even ostracized and envied by the male dragons. Because the true dragons were a race that favored males over females, the male dragons had a much higher status than the female dragons. The female dragons were just tools for bearing children. At least until now, there had not been a strong female dragon. 30 million years after Jade Heaven Emperor ascended, the Shaoyao mountain range opened again. Ao Shinran hid it from her tribe and secretly entered. She wanted to become strong. She did not want to be a tool for bearing children. She wanted to pursue freedom of love. It must be said that Ao Shinran was considered a different type of female dragon among the true dragons. Then, she accidentally stumbled upon the mystic realm where the legendary emperor of the Jade Heaven sect had once been and met a strange young man. When she came out again, her cultivation shocked the entire cultivation world. Immortal Emperor. Another invincible immortal emperor. 30 million years after the departure of the Jade Heaven Emperor, a second immortal had appeared in the cultivation world. Moreover, it was also an invincible immortal emperor. Various powers came to pay their respects to the new invincible immortal emperor in order to curry favor with her. When the entire true dragon tribe found out, they were shocked and came to pay their respects to Ao Shinran. The male dragons who had ostracized her in the past immediately used flowery words to ask for her forgiveness. Ao Shinran did not have any feelings for the true dragons. She directly ignored the true dragons who came to pay their respects to her and announced that she would leave the true dragons and establish the immemorial ancestral dragon tribe. Then, in front of everyone, she used 10 drops of her blood to evolve 10 incomparably powerful giant dragons. From then on, the immemorial ancestral dragon tribe was born. It was independent of the true dragon tribe and was the strongest demon tribe. Then, Ao Shinran called herself Emperor Ao Long and became the second publicly recognized emperor after Jade Heaven Emperor. However, she did something that shocked everyone. She attacked the Xiaoyao Mountain Range's restriction with her bare hands. Just like Jade Heaven Emperor 30 million years ago, she actually did the same thing. What kind of existence is there? Almost every day, Emperor Ao Long would come to the Xiaoyao Mountain Range and use her fist to attack the restriction of the Xiaoyao Mountain Range. After an unknown number of years, Emperor Ao Long finally succeeded. She used her fist to create a crack in the restriction. At that moment, a huge ball of light suddenly appeared above the Xiaoyao Mountain Range. That ball of light seemed to contain the power to destroy the world. At that moment, all the experts present felt a terrifying aura. That aura was even more terrifying than Emperor Ao Long's. Shinran, why are you doing this? That ball of light asked. To save you. I am willing to do anything. Ao Shinran revealed a little girl smile and said. At that time, all the experts who came were stunned when they heard Ao Shinran's words. As an invincible immortal emperor Ao Long, Ao Shinran actually revealed such a little girl's appearance. Not worth it. You should go to the immortal world now. I cannot come out now. That ball of light said. Why? You can clearly. Ao Shinran wanted to say something, but she seemed to have thought of something and immediately shut her mouth. Not worth it, Shinran. Furthermore, I cannot come out. That ball of light said. How many years has it been? Could it be that she is so important in your heart? Ao Shinran wanted to say something, but the ball of light interrupted her. Sorry, Shinran. You're a good person. Goodbye. The ball of light gave her a good person card. A golden light floated out from its body and wrapped around Ao Shinran in an instant. Ao Shinran was shocked and wanted to say something, but the golden light flashed and she disappeared in front of everyone. It was as if she had never appeared. The ball of light disappeared again, leaving behind a group of stunned experts from various powers. No one knew where Ao Shinran went. However, one thing was certain. The mysterious existence in the carefree mountain range could easily kill an immortal emperor. Immortal calendar year 400 million, the devil race was born. Together with the demon race and the human race, they were known as the 3 great races in the immortal world. During this period, many experts passed their tribulation and became immortal emperors and ascended to the immortal world. However, no one was like the 2 legendary great emperors who became immortal emperors immediately after passing their tribulation. Immortal calendar year 450 million, the 3rd immortal emperor appeared in the immortal world again. Heavenly Devil Immortal Emperor. Heavenly Devil Immortal Emperor, also known as Tian Yao Yao, was a rare genius of the Heavenly Devil race. She also entered the Xiaoyao Mountain Range and came out as an invincible immortal emperor. She also did the same thing as the 2 previous immortal emperors and bombarded the Xiaoyao Mountain Range. Unfortunately, her strength was not as good as the 2 previous immortal emperors. After trying for 1,000 years, she still could not break the restriction. She sighed dispiritedly and then disappeared before everyone's eyes, never to be heard of again. Immortal calendar year 500 million. Another invincible immortal emperor was born in the human race. It was the Buddhist Great Master Wuxin. She also entered the Xiaoyao Mountain Range and obtained a great opportunity. However, after coming out, she was very wise and did not attack the restriction of the Xiaoyao Mountain Range. At that time, She only stood at the foot of the mountain for hundreds of years before leaving with a long sigh. When she ascended, she established the Wuxing clan and hid one of the legendary 9 secrets of a human race in a certain place in the Wuxing clan. Only the clan masters of each generation could comprehend it. Immortal calendar year 1 billion. Another great emperor appeared in the demon race. It was the heavenly phoenix great emperor. Immortal calendar year 1 billion. The second great emperor appeared in the demon race. It was the heavenly war great emperor. Immortal calendar year 12950 billion. The witch race appeared and openly went against the 3 races. Since then, the immortal cultivation world entered a period of war between the 4 races. That was the darkest and most prosperous era of the immortal cultivation world. There were countless immortals who became immortals, and there were as many immortals as there were hairs on a cow. The Zenith Heaven Golden Immortals dominated a region, but there were no immortals who were willing to leave the immortal cultivation world and ascend to the immortal world because they had to fight for their own race. The immortals launched a great war between immortals, and there were even immortals from the immortal world who went down to the lower realm to intervene in the affairs of the immortal cultivation world. However, because the immortals caused a ruckus in the immortal cultivation world, the heavenly Tao of the immortal cultivation world was damaged. The will of the heavenly Tao sent down the immortal slaying tribulation and wiped out the immortals who caused a ruckus in the immortal cultivation world. Since then, due to the imperfection of the heavenly Tao, the immortal ascension rate in the immortal cultivation world was greatly reduced and gradually entered an era without immortals. An era without immortals did not mean that there were no immortals, but because of the imperfection of the heavenly Tao, the immortal ascension rate was almost 0. No matter how heaven-defying one's talent was, the immortal ascension rate was less than 1%. Since then, countless eras had passed. In the 3rd quadrillion year of the immortal calendar, the immortal cultivation world entered its golden age. Because of this period, peerless geniuses appeared in large numbers. Due to the imperfection of the heavenly Tao, the immortal realm gradually faded into the hearts of the people. Immortals became legends among legends. However, no one would have thought that during this period, 12 peerless geniuses would appear in the immortal cultivation world. They were all invincible existences in the same realm, and they were called the 12 reincarnated immortals. Not only were they powerful in battle, each of them had their own profession, and their fame spread far and wide in their respective professions. The 12 of them had their own professions: alchemy, tool refining, talisman refining, array formation, medicine, stealing, fortune-telling, body arts, sword arts, witchcraft, musical instruments, calligraphy, and painting. These 12 professions. When the Shaoyao mountain range opened again, the 12 of them traveled together to explore the mysterious mountain range. They heard from their elders that the worst of the people who came out of this place had become the legendary immortal realm. They were very curious about whether this legend was true or not. In the end, when they came out again, they caused the biggest commotion in the immortal cultivation world because they had all become immortals. The 12 of them had all become immortals. Moreover, each of their cultivations was at the immortal king realm. The entire immortal cultivation world was in an uproar. Could it be that the legendary immortal realm was going to appear again? When someone asked them what they had experienced in the Shaoyao mountain range, the 12 of them said with a face full of fear, "That was a terrifying ordeal that we have never experienced before, and we don't want to experience again. That existence was really too terrifying." So what kind of existence was that? 10 years later, the 12 immortal kings established their own sect and became one of the 3,000 great sects in the immortal cultivation world. 100 years later, the 12 immortal kings disappeared from the immortal cultivation world. Many people guessed that they might have gone to the legendary immortal realm. In the 3,100th year of the immortal calendar, a meteor from outer space fell in the Shaoyao mountain range of the immortal cultivation world, causing a big commotion. However, no one found the so-called outer space object. But since then, the Shaoyao mountain range had another legend, which became the third of the three legends of the Shaoyao mountain range. The first was the danger and opportunity in the Shaoyao mountain range. The second was the legendary mysterious existence in the Shaoyao mountain range. Many people called it the Shaoyao mountain spirit. There is a never-before-seen spirit beast, the golden-haired spirit monkey, that appeared in the mountain range. It was said that those who had seen it said that it was very nimble and cute, full of spirituality, and its strength was very terrifying. Many almighty people who wanted to tame it as a pet didn't walk out of the Shaoyao mountain alive. Time flew, and countless years passed in the immortal cultivation world. During this time, many people ascended. The era without immortals had long passed like dust. In the 3109th year of the immortal calendar, this era would be the most glorious era in the history of the immortal cultivation world. Chapter 132. A few months later. Tang Wu, are you there? An old man shouted in front of Tang San's house. What's wrong? Old Jack, are you here to freeload off Light Rain's cooking again? Let me tell you, Light Rain and Little Three have gone out. Even if they were here, I wouldn't let Light Rain cook for you. Ever since Tang Yu lived in Tang San's house, he felt a little sad seeing Tang San eating porridge and cornbread all day. Father-in-law used to have a hard life, eating these 3 meals a day. It was comparable to when he was young. No, when he was young, he at least ate his mother's grilled fish. Therefore, Tang Yu said that from now on, he would be in charge of cooking. At first, Tang Hao and his father said that they didn't need it, but after eating Light Rain's cooking and grilled fish, the father and son cried. Tang San said that he didn't know why he thought of his mother, who he had never seen before. Tang Hao kept muttering, "Ian." Since then, the father and son clamored for Light Rain to cook every day. It was too delicious. Later, when Old Jack came, it happened to be lunchtime. Old Jack asked if he could try it, but in the end, it was assumed that he was freeloading off food every day. Old Jack heard Tang Hao's words, and his face turned red. He said, "That can't be helped. Light Rain's cooking is so delicious." No, I didn't come today to freeload. Tang Hao, don't you know? There's a martial spirit awakening ceremony tomorrow. Little Three and Light Rain are already 6 years old, right? I plan to let them attend. Before Old Jack finished speaking, Tang Hao interrupted him. No, I won't let them go. You should give up. Tang Hao, that's a martial spirit awakening. Once it's awakened, as long as you have a soul ring, you're no longer an ordinary person. You're a spirit master that everyone respects. Tang Hao, your life is over, but Little Three and Light Rain are still young. They still have a future. Don't ruin their future. Think about it carefully. I'll come again tomorrow. After he finished speaking, he left without looking back. Only Tang Hao continued to drink as he muttered to himself, "Honorable soul cultivator. Huh? Spirit masters are also people. So what if he became honorable? So what if he became stronger? In the end, you can't even protect the people you want to protect." After saying that, he actually started to cry. On a small hill, there were 2 skinny figures running quickly, one in front and one behind. If there was anyone here, they would definitely be shocked. They were 2 children around 6 years old. The child in front had sky blue hair, bright blue eyes, and skin that was whiter than a girl's skin. He was very beautiful and cute. If it wasn't for the fact that he was wearing a boy's clothes, he would have thought that he was a girl. The child at the back had a head of dark blue hair, black eyes, and wheat-colored skin. Although he wasn't very handsome, his face was delicate and pretty, and was very pleasing to the eye. Third brother, you still can't catch up to me. Your ghost shadow perplexing track needs to be improved. Oh, intersection_intersection. Oh ha, the child in front laughed. He is Tang Yu, our Huogua. Light Rain, slow down a bit. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have taught you Tang Men. Oh, for all. Oh, the child at the back complained. It was Tang San. He had a sad look on his face now. 3 months ago, when he was practicing Tang Men, Tang Yu happened to discover him and asked him to teach him. So he passed it all to Light Rain. But not long after, he learned all of it. It was a huge blow to Tang San. I spent a long time learning it. But you actually learn it all in less than a month. Don't bother me. I want to be alone. But Light Rain's words shocked Tang-san. Who is Jingjing? I think she must be a good girl to make third brother think of her so much. Tang-san fainted. Tang, you didn't do it on purpose. If Tang-san knew that he also knew Tang-min, how would he explain it to him? Say that he came from the future? Or his son-in-law? Hui Yuhao's father-in-law was also a transmigrator. In the past, when Hui Yuhao received special training from Tang-san in the God Realm, Tang-san told him that he was a transmigrator. Hui Yuhao was shocked at that time, and Tang-san told him that Hui Yuhao was the first person to know his secret. So you understand. Keep your mouth shut. In order not to let Tang-san know that he also knew Tang-min, Tang, you put on a flawless show. Third brother, it's time to go home. Tang-san's house. Dad, we're back. Oh, Tang Hao replied curtly. During dinner, Tang-san said, Lil 3, Light Rain, go and awaken your martial souls tomorrow. Dad, what's a martial soul awakening? Tang-san asked. Third brother, everyone has a martial soul. Usually, it will awaken when a person is 6 years old. At the same time, they will also have innate soul power. If their innate soul power is 0, then they will not be able to cultivate for the rest of their life. Even if they only have a trace of innate soul power, they can still meditate and cultivate. As long as their innate soul power is higher, their cultivation will be faster, Tang Yu explained as he ate the grilled fish. Oh, Light Rain, you know a lot, Tang-san praised. Tang Hao looked deeply at Tang Yu. Tang Yu's words were more accurate than his own. My adopted son is not simple. At night, Tang Hao, who was sleeping soundly, seemed to have sensed something. Tang Hao left the Holy Spirit village and went to a small mountain. Light Rain often came to this mountain, but now it had become an iceberg. Territory? 100,000-year soul beast? No, it's even stronger. Tang Hao's face was serious. How many years has it been since I've been so nervous? Why is there such a powerful soul beast here? You're finally here. How, a woman's voice sounded. Who is it? Come out. Tang Hao released his soul rings and entered battle mode. 2 yellow, 2 purple, 4 black, and 1 red. The best soul ring combination. Put away your soul rings. I don't want to get angry. Unless you want to die. The woman's voice was very angry. If worst comes to worst, I'll drag you down with me. Tang Hao said. At this moment, a beautiful woman appeared in front of him. She had 2 dark green ponytails and a green crown on her head. She had a long dark green scorpion tail. The moment she appeared, the surrounding temperature dropped rapidly. She was like the queen of ice. What kind of soul beast are you? Why are you here? Tang Hao realized that he could not see through the woman's strength. What? Do you still think you can drag me down with you? If you didn't take Light Rain in, you would be a corpse now. The woman said, Little, Light Rain? Then you are his. Tang Hao said in surprise. The woman said, I'm Light Rain's 4th sister. I'm ranked 4th in the family. Light Rain is the youngest. A few months ago, he sneaked out to play and hasn't come back. Big brother was worried about him and asked me to look for him. Wait, are all your family soul beasts? Tang Hao asked. Yes, my brothers and sisters are all soul beasts. However, Light Rain is the only exception. He's a little special, the woman replied. What do you mean? Tang Hao asked. Xiao Yu is an existence that is a fusion of human and soul beast. He used to be a human, but due to an accident, he fused with the auspicious beast and became a half-human, half-beast existence. He carries the power of providence of all soul beasts. If Light Rain dies, I don't need to say anything. You know the consequences. Tang Hao was shocked. He did not expect Light Rain to have such a great origin. Light Rain had the power of providence, and all intelligent soul beasts would do their best to protect him. If he became an enemy of Light Rain, it was equivalent to becoming an enemy of all soul beasts in Dolua. Then you're here. To take him away? No, I was going to take Light Rain away, but Light Rain smiled. He smiled very happily. I don't even know how long it's been since I saw him smile. If Light Rain didn't have a good time, I would have taken him away. However, he was very happy. It seems that my trip was in vain. Hao Qianlaw, please take good care of Light Rain. If anything happens to Light Rain, there's no need for humans to exist. The woman was about to leave after she finished speaking, but she stopped and said, 100,000-year blue-silver emperor won't die so easily. The blue-silver emperor's vitality is so strong that as long as there's a trace of its soul left, it can be reborn. So, don't be dispirited by the sacrifice, Hao Qian. Tang Hao suddenly opened his eyes wide and said with a trembling voice, You mean? But before he could finish speaking, the woman had already disappeared. The surrounding temperature returned, and the iceberg turned back into an ordinary mountain. Ian, she didn't die, Tang Hao muttered with tears flowing down his face. At this moment, Hao Yiandao was like a crying child at the same time. Phew, is that enough? Yuhao, yes. Thank you for your hard work, Ice Empress. Memorizing lines is too tiring. It took me a month to memorize them. Haha, Ice, is that big brother referring to me? Ha ha ha, I'm the big brother. 6 of you quick. Call me big brother. Stinking bug, do you want to die? I'll fulfill your wish. Skydream, you only slept for 1,000,000 years and you want to call me big brother? My hands are itching. Bug, I want to take revenge on the space-time turbulence. Revenge for tricking me. Little White is suddenly a little hungry. Octagon and Niece thinks, you deserve to be beaten. If it's big brother, Liao thinks it's Yuhao, not you, fat bug. Yuhao, save big brother. I allow you to beat him to death. Don't hold back. Don't hit the face. End. Chapter 133. The next day, Tang San realized that Tang Hao seemed different from before. He seemed to be very happy, and the way he looked at Light Rain was a little strange. Tang Yu went to prepare breakfast. In his spiritual sea, Yuhao, did the lie last night work? I think so. Not all lies are lies. The blue-silver emperor can be revived as long as there's only a trace of its soul left. No, I'm referring to the luck of the soul beast and the fact that you're not a human or a soul beast. Damn Tianming, are you stupid? Yuhao was once sacrificed by the three-eyed golden lion. At that time, Yuhao became half human and half beast. Strictly speaking, he's still human, but he's no longer a real human. Sure. Bing bing. The sacrifice of the auspicious beast is a sad thing for Yuhao. Why did you? Yuhao, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. All right, Ice Empress, I've already gotten over that matter. I'll go awaken my martial soul later. It's just a formality anyway. With that, Yuhao left the spiritual sea. Yuhao, have you really gotten over it? You can fool the 6 of them, but you can't fool me. When we were in the God Realm, you and Wutong were always looking for ways to revive the auspicious beast. You cried because you couldn't find a way. I'm the inheritor of love, and your love for the auspicious beast didn't decrease. Instead, it increased. You probably regret not being able to revive the auspicious beast the most. What Yuhao and the 7 gods didn't notice was that there was a ball of rose gold light in his second spiritual sea. That ball of light suddenly turned into a blurry figure. It was the figure of a woman. She murmured softly, How? Tang San's martial soul awakening location. Su Yuntao said helplessly, Another trash martial soul. It seems like the Holy Spirit Village has wasted their time this time. All right, children, you can leave now. The large number of golden dots that had appeared earlier had given him a lot of hope. But in the end, it was only blue-silver grass. The disparity made Su Yuntao somewhat unhappy. Uncle, you haven't tested my soul power yet. Tang San hurriedly reminded Su Yuntao when he saw that he was about to put away the blue crystal ball. Su Yuntao said without turning his head, There's no need to try. I've never seen anyone with a trash martial soul like the blue-silver grass produce soul power. Uncle, let my brother take the test, Tang Yu said. Blue-silver grass? Humph. You're the one who has no foresight. His father-in-law had the blue-silver emperor, although it hadn't awakened yet. Okay, wait, little brother, you don't seem to have awakened yet. Uncle, You should test third brother's innate soul power first, Tang Yu said. As soon as Tang San's palm touched the blue crystal ball, Tang San's body violently trembled. He was shocked to find that the beautiful blue crystal ball actually had a huge suction force. His internal energy seemed to have found an outlet and surged out. He wanted to break free, but he couldn't escape from the strong suction force. Su Yintao was also shocked. Just when he thought that the final soul power test in the Holy Spirit Village was just a formality, the blue crystal ball in his hand suddenly lit up. Heavens, it's actually innate full soul power. At this moment, he looked at the boy in front of him with a completely different gaze. It was as if he was looking at a monster. Tang San naturally discovered that his situation was different from the other children's tests. He asked doubtfully, "Uncle, what is innate full soul power?" "Brother, didn't I tell you before? When a martial soul awakens, other than the martial soul's form determining its strength, the amount of soul power one has is also very important. Most people don't have any soul power when their martial soul awakens, just like these children from before. They're destined to live their lives. They can't become a soul master. As long as soul power appears, even if it's only a trace, it can be cultivated through meditation. When a martial soul awakens, the amount of soul power one has is very important. It determines the starting point of a soul master's cultivation. The higher the innate soul power, the faster the cultivation speed. At the same time, because of the higher starting point, one naturally has to be ahead of others. The so-called innate full soul power is the highest innate soul power one can achieve when a martial soul awakens. Before Su Yuntao could say anything, Tang Yu beat him to it. The highest soul power? Light rain can't be any higher? Tang Sin asked. Not really. Some special martial souls can produce innate full soul power, but it's even rarer than innate full soul power. With innate full soul power, one can become a soul master after obtaining a soul ring. Without innate full soul power, one has to cultivate to the 10th rank before obtaining a soul ring. Without innate full soul power, one can only be an ordinary person. Tang Yu said, Little brother, you know a lot. But blue-silver grass, forget it, little brother. Your martial soul hasn't awakened yet. Come. Su Yintao said. In. Tang Yu placed his hand on the stone and prepared to release the ice jade emperor scorpion. But before he could do so, the stone suddenly lit up. It was extremely bright. There were even dragon roars in the surroundings. How can this be? Tang Yu was shocked. A new martial soul? But the 7 gods were also shocked. A new martial soul? Ice, beat me up. I must be dreaming. How can this be impossible? This can't be explained by science. Do you still believe in science? Su Yintao was shocked. This is? What martial soul? The martial soul's pressure made him release his martial soul to resist, but it was useless. His martial soul was actually afraid. The other children were so scared that they peed their pants. Tang San was barely able to withstand it. Then, Tang Yu's body emitted a domineering dragon's aura. His body was covered in golden scales, and a pair of dazzling dragon wings spread out from his back. This is a golden dragon. Tang Yu was shocked. A golden dragon. Extreme strength. Among all the soul beasts, the golden dragon had the strongest strength and explosive power. According to legend among dragons, the golden dragon and the silver dragon were split from the dragon god and possessed the bloodline of the dragon god. No beast could be compared to it. The golden dragon's strength was definitely the strongest among dragons. How can this be a golden dragon? Tang Yu was really shocked. This was because the golden dragon was Chior's martial soul. Su Yuntao trembled. Little brother, you should put away your martial soul. Tang Yu calmed down and put away his martial soul. The pressure disappeared. Su Yuntao asked carefully, May I ask what your martial soul is? Golden dragon. Tang Yu said subconsciously. Golden dragon? Dragon? It's actually a dragon martial soul. As long as it was a dragon martial soul, it would be a top-grade beast martial soul. Furthermore, dragon martial souls were extremely rare. Although he had never heard of a golden dragon before, it was definitely not simple to make his martial soul tremble in fear with just the pressure of a martial soul. Then, let's test your innate soul power. Tang Yu placed his hand on the blue ball. Suddenly, the blue ball shone as brightly as Tang San's. It's its full innate soul power again. Heavens! May I ask, do you want to join the Martial Soul Palace? The Martial Soul Palace can give you anything you want. Money, status, resources, anything. Su Yuntao began to swindle children again. Why did I say again? Tang San and Tang Yu directly rejected. Sigh. The abduction failed. I'll let it slip. At Tang San's house. Dad, we're back. Lil 3. Light Rain, you're back. Yes. My martial soul has awakened. My martial soul is blue silvergrass. Tang Hao was surprised. Blue silvergrass was the same as hers. Light Rain, what about you? It's the golden dragon. Golden dragon? Is it the dragon martial soul? Yes. Dad, does a person only have one martial soul? Yes. But why do I have another martial soul? After he finished speaking, he lifted his left hand and a jet black hammer appeared. The hammer's handle was about half a foot long and the hammer's head was cylindrical. It looked very much like a miniature casting hammer. However, on the hammer's jet black surface, there was a special light. On the cylindrical head of the hammer, there was a circle of faint patterns. This is... Tang Hao appeared in front of Tang San in a single stride. He grabbed Tang San's hand that was holding the hammer and brought it in front of him. Tang Hao's hand was very strong. At least now, Tang San no longer felt that the hammer was a huge burden on his arm. When Tang Hao's hand held Tang San's, a warm feeling of blood connection made Tang San's heart feel very comfortable. Dad, is there something wrong? Looking at the small black hammer, the excitement that had disappeared before reappeared in Tang Hao's eyes. Twin martial souls. It's actually twin martial souls. My son. Tang Hao opened his strong arms and tightly hugged Tang San into his embrace. Tang San had never been hugged by Tang Hao like this before. He felt a little unnatural. This is the clear sky hammer, right? I've been hit by father-in-law's hammer many times in the past. Tang Yu thought in his heart. Third brother, I also have a second martial soul. It's the eye spirit, Tang Yu said. What? Tang San said in shock. Tang Yu's eyes turned bluish gold. It was a strange combination of blue and gold. What's going on? Tang Yu was shocked. His spirit eyes seemed to be different. In Tang Yu's eyes, the world was like this. Tang San and Tang Hao had a strange golden light on their bodies. Tang San's light was much brighter than Tang Hao's. He looked outside. With his eyesight, he could see everything within a 50-kilometer radius. Some people did not have a golden light. Some only had a faint golden light. And some had black chi on their foreheads. There was also one person with a blood-red light on his forehead. That person was Su Yuntao. He kept muttering, I must report this to the higher-ups. What happened to my spirit eyes? Tang Yu thought in his heart. Light Rain, your eyes are so beautiful. Tang San said. Tang Hao looked deeply into Light Rain's eyes. He felt as if he had been seen through just now. You guys should go to bed early tonight. Tomorrow, old Jack will take you to school at Notting Academy. Dad is going out to do something. After saying that, he left. Tang Yu thought to himself, Notting Academy? Isn't that going to be meeting his mother-in-law? Somewhere else. You are. How? I don't talk nonsense with people who are about to die. Everyone in the Martial Soul Palace deserves to die. No, it's done. Martial Soul Palace. Clear Sky Doluo, will reappear in the world of martial arts. Be prepared to face my wrath. This person will be the first. End. Chapter 134. The next day, Tang Yu found out something. Su Yuntao was dead. He's dead? Did Tang Hao do it? Maybe it has something to do with the blood-red light I saw on his head yesterday. Yuhao, that's a calamity of blood. An evil voice sounded. Evil Emperor? I'm sure that it's a calamity of blood. Calamity of blood? Then, where the golden light and black energy? That golden light might be luck, and the black energy might be misfortune. Skydream's voice sounded. Yuhao, your spirit eyes might have transformed. You can see other people's luck, misfortune, and death. But what exactly? We don't know either, but it's harmless to you. Really, it's not a bad thing that you can see other people's luck. I hope so. At the entrance of Nodding Academy. What blue silver grass, golden dragon, and innate full soul power. A trash martial soul with innate full soul power? Are you kidding me? And golden dragon. I've never even heard of it. How dare you scram? Beggar. The guard was disdainful. You? No matter how good Jack's temper was, he couldn't hold it in anymore. You're deliberately making things difficult. All right, wait here. I'll go find the Martial Spirit Branch Hall's deacon. Little 3, light rain, let's go. As he spoke, Jack led Tang San and Tang Yu into the city. The guard felt somewhat uneasy. If the people from the Martial Spirit Palace really came, he wouldn't be able to bear the consequences. Of course, he also believed that the people from the Martial Spirit Palace wouldn't come to the academy to question these two country bumpkins. Naturally, the words coming out of his mouth weren't pleasant. Holy Spirit Village. I think it's more like a beggar's village. What did you say? Old Jack suddenly turned around. Tang Sin had already prepared his hidden weapon. Tang Yu stared at the guard. His spirit eyes saw that the golden light of his luck was faint. It would be great if he could make his luck disappear. Just as Tang Yu thought that, the guard's golden light disappeared. There wasn't even a bit of light. It really disappeared. It was too miraculous. Stop. At this moment, a hoarse voice sounded. The gatekeeper was stunned for a moment. Then, the anger on his face suddenly turned into flattery. The change happened so fast that it was hard to imagine. He nodded and bowed to the person who came. Master, you're back. Tang San and Tang Yu turned their heads to look. They didn't know when a thin man of medium build had appeared beside them. From the looks of it, this person was about 40 or 50 years old. His short black hair was parted in a 370. His appearance was very ordinary. His hands were behind his back, but there was a special temperament about him. When his eyes opened and closed, there was a hint of laziness and decadence. The great master only glanced at the gatekeeper and ignored him. He said to old Jack, Old mister, can you show me the proof of the Martial Soul Palace? Old Jack was, after all, a village chief, so he knew how to read people's expressions. From the gatekeeper's expression, he could tell that the middle-aged man in front of him had a high position in the academy, not to mention that he had the title of Great Master. He hurriedly handed over the proof in his hand. The Great Master looked at the proof, then shifted his gaze to Tang San and Tang Yu. He sized them up a few times, then looked at Tang Yu a few times. For some reason, although the Great Master's gaze wasn't sharp, Tang San felt as if he was being seen through. Tang Yu thought to himself, is he the Great Master? He's my father-in-law's teacher, and also my eldest senior brother's ancestor. The proof is real. Oh, mister, I apologize on behalf of the academy for what happened just now. Leave these two children to me. He glanced at the gatekeeper and said, you don't have to come tomorrow. When luck was gone, misfortune would come. Tang Yu thought to himself, the Spirit Eyes should be renamed to the Destiny Spirit Eyes. Yes, the name is not bad. The Great Master lowered his head and looked at Tang San and Tang Yu. He squeezed out a smile, but the muscles on his face seemed to be somewhat stiff. When he smiled, his appearance was somewhat unflattering. He took Tang San and Tang Yu's hand and said, let's go in. Teacher, thank you, Tang San said to the Great Master. Brother, he's not a teacher. If he was, the gatekeeper would have called him teacher instead of Great Master. A teacher doesn't have that much power to fire a gatekeeper, Tang Yu said to Tang San with a smile. The Great Master turned around and looked at Light Rain in surprise. Child, you're very smart. You were able to determine that I'm not a teacher based on this. Yes, I'm not a teacher. I'm just a guest who's here to freeload on food and drinks. Just call me Great Master like everyone else. Everyone calls me Great Master. I've even forgotten my own name. The certificate from the Martial Soul Palace says that your name is Tang Yu. He's Tang San, right? Tang San and Tang Yu. You have to understand that there's a huge difference between great master and teacher. Don't call me great master in the future, unless you really want to be my disciple." The great master looked at Tang San and Tang Yu, who were staring at him in a daze, and the stiff smile appeared again. "Good. You're really smart kids." There are two reasons why he didn't open his mouth. First, he didn't want to be in a hurry to refuse, so as not to offend the great master. Second, he wanted to use his actions to ask the great master why he wanted to be his disciple. The great master raised his hands and rubbed Tang San and Tang Yu's heads. "You're so talented and so smart. It seems that I have to be persistent for once. No matter what, you're the third and fourth twin martial souls in the past 100 years." Hearing the great master's words, Tang San was shocked. The way he looked at the great master suddenly changed. He had already raised his left hand quietly, and his eyes revealed a look of surprise and uncertainty. Tang Yu couldn't help but admire the great master's judgment. The Grand Master looked at them calmly and said with a smile, "Aren't you curious as to how I know you have twin martial spirits?" As he spoke, he shook the certificate that old Jack gave him in his hand. "It's because of this certificate. Maybe other people can't see the flaw in it, but if I can't see it, then I don't deserve to be called Great Master." Chapter 135. The strongest person is the dorm leader? Great. I like fighting. You're the one now? Xiao Wu looked at Tang San. "Yes," Tang San said. Before Tang San could react, her right leg had already bent and the tip of her foot shot out, aiming for Xiao Wu's chin. It didn't seem to be very strong, but it was very fast, scaring Tang San. The fight was skipped. "I lost. Can you tell me what technique you used just now?" Tang San's face was slightly red. He thought to himself that he was probably the one who had been the leader for the shortest time. Xiao Wu smiled and said, "This is called a soft technique. It's a technique that uses the softness and toughness of the body to activate." Who else is not convinced? You? Xiao Wu looked at Tang Yu. She had to admit that Tang Yu was too cute. Xiao was also slightly stunned when she saw him. She really wanted to pinch his face. Carrot Omega Carrot, mother-in-law, I didn't do anything. Tang Yu smiled bitterly. In the next moment, Xiao Wu was already charging at Tang Yu. Tang Yu subconsciously released his golden dragon martial soul, showing off his dragon wings. Dragon scales covered his body, and his body emitted a golden light. Once the dragon's aura was released, Xiao Wu was suppressed to the point that she couldn't move. Everyone was shocked. Their martial souls were automatically released. They all looked at Tang Yu in surprise. Tang San and Xiao Wu were the same. In the next moment, a ring appeared and started to revolve around Tang Yu. Everyone was shocked. This is a soul ring? But this color? Tang Yu was stunned. She stared at the soul ring closely. This soul ring was actually gold with a tinge of rose gold. Xiao Wu directly admitted defeat. Nonsense. How could a rabbit fight a dragon? However, Tang Yu still stared blankly at the golden soul ring. Chio. Tang Yu's trembling voice rang out. After saying that, his vision turned black, and he couldn't remember anything after that. Spiritual C. Yuhao, listen to me. Calm down. Sky Dream kept persuading him. Chio, you're here, right? Chio, come out. It's me. Yuhao. Chio. Yuhao sobbed as he shouted, Sky Dream, let's give him some peace and quiet. Right now, the 7 godly spirits finally left Yuhao alone. Yuhao kept shouting, Chio. A few hours later, Yuhao sat on the ground, paralyzed. He smiled sorrowfully and said, Sure, it's all my fault. If I had met you earlier, that wouldn't have happened. You wouldn't have. I know, you must hate me now, right? I didn't find a way to revive you after I became a god, right? Sure, if I could do it again, I would definitely hold on to you and Wudong tightly. I wouldn't let go even if I died. Sure, come out. I'll tell you the story of the young man and the young girl again. After he finished the story, he said, Sure, please forgive me. After he finished, he fell asleep with a smile. At this moment, a young girl appeared in front of him. She was about 6 years old and was very beautiful. She had a gentle smile on her face. She touched his face while he was sleeping and wiped away the tears at the corners of his eyes. Her lips gently touched his lips, and she said softly, "Idiot, I've never blamed you. Darling, wake up. Chill. Chill, Tang Yu suddenly sat up. Ah, you're finally awake. What happened to you? I was so worried about you." Xiao Wu's sudden appearance gave him fright. "All right, Xiao Wu. My brother just woke up. Light Rain, are you all right?" Tang Sen appeared and asked. "Yes, I'm fine. Third brother made you worry. What happened to you? You were unconscious for 3 days, and you kept saying Xiao-er. Xiao-er? Who is she?" "Xiao-er, she's a good girl. Xiao-er, you must be alive, right? In a certain place in my spiritual sea." Chapter 136. I won't say much. I don't know how much I can help you with your injuries, but I'll try my best, Tang Yu said. "It's okay, I don't mind," the girl said. "Silver Dragon King, I have to say that your personality is much better than the Golden Dragon King's." "Phew, thank you. I didn't expect you to be able to heal all of my injuries. Are you really a level 1 god?" "It's okay. Luckily, your injuries are only 30%. If it were 50%, I wouldn't be so confident. You won't kill me after you're healed, right?" What do you take me for? I want to attack my friends. Besides, you're the first friend I've made." "All right, you'd better refine the essence blood I gave you now, or it'll be useless." "What? Hurry up. I'll protect you." "Okay, thank you. You have to endure the pain during the refining process. I've already suffered a lot. What's there to be afraid of?" After saying that, he opened the bottle and drank the Silver Dragon King's essence blood in one gulp. "You idiot. Do you want to die?" The girl's eyes widened in shock. "What? Huh?" Tang Yu was about to say something when he felt that something was wrong. His chest felt like it was about to explode. "Arg!" He clutched his chest and screamed. "Ew. You underestimate my essence blood. Even if you're a god, you're only a sealed god. Refining essence blood has to be done drop by drop. You've refined so much at once. It'll be strange if you don't explode." The girl was a little angry, but there was also a hint of worry on her face. "Yuhao, don't worry. You still have your brother and us." A voice sounded. After that, 8 figures flashed out. There was a handsome golden-haired young man, 3 beautiful young women, one with 2 dark green ponytails, one with snow-white hair, one with light blue hair, one with 12 years of age handsome young man, one with a simple and honest fat man, and one with blood-red hair. Standing at the very front was a beautiful golden-haired girl who was about 7 years old. She had a third eye on her forehead. 8 level 2 divine beasts. The Silver Dragon King was surprised. "Xiao, heir?" Tang Yu looked at the girl in front of him and trembled. "Idiot, do you want to die? It's no wonder. You're an idiot who belongs to me and her. Don't speak first. Let's talk after we're done here. We'll share some of your burden," the blonde girl said. 7. After an unknown period of time. "Now, it's the most crucial moment. 7 of you work harder," the golden-haired girl said weakly. "Big sister, we can't hold on any longer." The handsome boy had already disappeared. Then, the girl with light blue hair also disappeared. Then, Fatso, the girl with dark green hair, and the girl with snow-white hair also disappeared. Then, the man with blood-red hair also disappeared. The golden-haired man's body also became illusory. "Big sister, we've tried our best. Just a little bit more. We'll leave it to you, big sister." After saying that, they also disappeared. "How hateful," the golden-haired girl said weakly. "Chill, Skydream. Brother, everyone, thank you. The child clenched his teeth and howled at the sky. The child's body disappeared. "Yuhao," the golden-haired girl exclaimed. "Don't worry, he's fine. And this aura?" The silver-haired girl was a little surprised. Then, a huge silver dragon appeared in the sky. It was surrounded by a silver soul ring. "Silver Dragon King. Silver Dragon King's martial soul." The silver-haired girl was very shocked. Then, the dragon turned into a silver-haired boy. He had a pair of silver dragon wings, dragon scales, dragon horns, and purple vertical pupils. A silver soul ring surrounded him. He was handsome and beautiful in one. He was at the level where both men and women would be attracted to him. Behind him was an illusory silver dragon. Then, a golden-haired boy appeared beside the silver-haired boy. He had a pair of golden dragon wings, dragon scales, dragon horns, and scarlet vertical pupils. His appearance was exactly the same as the silver-haired boy. A golden soul ring surrounded him. Behind him, there was a golden dragon. The two of them began to fuse. The two dragons behind them also began to fuse. In an instant, seven-colored light shone brightly. A strange phenomenon suddenly appeared in the entire Dolua continent. All beasts prostrated. It was as if they were worshipping their emperor. When the light dissipated, a seven-colored dragon stopped in midair. It had a pair of wings, and its dragon scales were a dreamy combination of gold and silver. It was a combination of seven-colored scales. Dragon god. The Silver Dragon King was shocked. Strength, speed, destructive power, control of various elements, and a strong and perfect body. This was the dragon god, the ancestor of dragons, the king of the beast race. Then, the dragon god disappeared. What appeared was a 7-year-old boy. He had a pair of 7-colored dragon wings, and his hair was also 7-colored. 2 soul rings, 1 gold and 1 silver, surrounded him. His appearance seemed to make the world dim. You, how? The golden-haired girl looked at the different him in front of her and said in a daze. Tang Yu suddenly hugged the golden-haired girl and shed tears. Strangely, golden tears flowed from his left eye and silver tears from his right eye. It's me. I miss you so much, Chioer. And me too. The golden-haired girl also shed tears. At this moment, everything seemed to be eternal. Cough, cough. How long do you want to ignore this king? Do you think this king is heir? A discordant voice sounded. The two of them separated in an instant. Their faces were completely red. Tang Yu looked at the silver-haired girl and bowed deeply. Thank you, my friend. What are you thanking me for? I didn't do anything. The silver-haired girl curled her lips. The blood essence you gave me allowed me to obtain the Silver Dragon King's martial soul. I can fuse my martial soul with the golden dragon and become the dragon god. Although it's an incomplete dragon god, it's still a real dragon god. You're welcome. This is the result of your endurance. It has nothing to do with me. Hurry up and leave. I want to meditate. All right, Silver Dragon King, do you have a name? This king is called Silver Dragon King. What's wrong? That. Why don't I call you now? What's wrong? Is it not nice? Then why don't I call you Guyu? Is that okay? Then I'll call you Guyina. Scram. Hurry up and get out of Star Dove Forest for this king. Somewhere, 2 children, 1 boy and 1 girl, were shouting. Phew. Luckily, we ran fast. What's wrong with her? Why did she change her face? The boy asked curiously. The Silver Dragon King, she can't be. The girl whispered. She looked at the boy again. She can't be, right? Show her, let's go back. Third brother and the others must be waiting anxiously. Okay. With that, they suddenly disappeared. After that, a silver-haired girl appeared. Did they leave? The Silver Dragon King, when did you become so kind? What's wrong with you? Is it because he's the second person who dares to give you a name? Nah, Guyu. Guyina. Ha ha ha. You're exactly the same as that person. End of chapter 8. Chapter 137. The scene changed to Tang Yu and Wang Dong's 2v2. Both parties, please take your positions. Tang Yu and Wang Dong stood side by side, as if they were a couple, if not for the fact that they were both men. On the other side, there were 2 twins. They were around 20 years old, had handsome faces, and long black hair that reached their waists. Little San, will Light Rain's team be all right? Dai Mubai asked a little worriedly. It wasn't that Dai Mubai didn't believe in Tang Yu and Wang Dong, but their opponents were the experienced twins, the twin swords of absolute darkness. They were both rank 49 battle soul ancestors. Their martial souls were black swords, and it was said that they had killed a soul emperor together. Even Light Rain and Wang Dong had to take such experts seriously. Boss Dai, you might not know this, but Light Rain and Wang Dong are not to be trifled with in a 1v1 situation. However, in a team situation, they're even more difficult to deal with. Tang San smiled mysteriously. Xiao Wu also said excitedly, "We can finally see their perfect cooperation." And that, Dai Mu Bai, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun were puzzled. Ha ha ha, just watch. This match won't take much time, Tang San and Xiao Wu said in unison. Everyone was puzzled. Begin, the referee ordered. The twins released their martial souls, and a black sword appeared in their hands. After that, 2 yellow and 2 purple soul rings appeared. They looked seriously at Tang Yu and Wang Dong. They had watched their previous matches. One of them had a martial soul that they didn't even know about, while the other had a martial soul that they had never seen before. Furthermore, both of them had 4 black soul rings. This was much more troublesome than facing a soul emperor. Aya, they have weapons. It's so unfair. Wang Dong curled his lips. Then let's use them too. After speaking, a green sword appeared in Tang Yu's hand, which emitted a strong aura of life. Okay, Wang Dong waved his right hand, and a 2-meter-long green trident appeared in his hand. A thick aura of life was also released. Enveloped by the aura of life, the audience felt as if all of their fatigue had been cleared away. They didn't feel tired at all. Dai Mu Bai and the others looked at Tang Yu and Wang Dong in astonishment. They still have weapons? This is only part of their trump cards. There are more powerful ones. Tang San and Xiao Wu said. They haven't even used Light Rain yet. The twins took the lead and launched their first martial soul, Instant Extreme Blade. Their swords were already slashing towards Tang Yu. Tang Yu's sword swept out horizontally. Bang! His sword blocked both of their swords. The twins were shocked. How is this possible? Sigh. Tang Yu sighed. I have to say, your swordsmanship is too weak. As soon as he finished speaking, he swung his sword vertically. The twins retreated 2 steps. The trident was already upon them, forcing them to retreat. The jade green sword slashed at them, forcing them to retreat again. You dodged pretty quickly, Tang Yu said. Tang Yu held his sword vertically, causing frost to form on the blade. The surrounding air also started to freeze in the shape of a sword. In an instant, 10,000 ice swords appeared. The twins were shocked. It wasn't just them. The audience also opened their eyes wide. Freezing the air into a weapon? Tang San and the others looked at this scene in disbelief. Even Wang Dong looked at Tang Yu in astonishment. When did he learn something like this? 10,000 ice. Sword rain. Tang Yu said 2 words. At this moment, it was as if he wasn't himself anymore. 10,000 ice swords pointed towards the twins at the same time, then quickly flew out. The twins felt that something was wrong. They looked at each other, then pointed their swords towards the 10,000 ice swords and fused their soul power. The 2 of them shouted, "Twin sword combination!" The 2 black swords fused together, forming a 12-meter-long giant sword. It collided with the 10,000 ice sword rain. The smoke dissipated. Oh no, a martial soul fusion skill. Dai Mu Bai and Zhu Zhuqing exclaimed at the same time. How can they also know a martial soul fusion skill? Xiao Wu said in surprise. Wait, Xiao Wu, what do you mean by also know? Dai Mu Bai asked doubtfully. You'll see in a while, Xiao Wu said. But Light Rain doesn't seem right, Tang San said. At this moment, Tang Yu closed his eyes and rubbed his head. He felt a little dizzy. Just now, what happened? 10,000 ice sword rain? What the hell? A hand was placed on his shoulder. How are you? Are you okay? I should be fine, probably. The last sentence was said softly, and Wang Dong didn't hear it all. Be careful. It's coming again. At this moment, the twin swords turned into 2, and 2 more swords appeared around them at the same time. The 8 swords pointed towards each other. 8 sword combination. A 48-meter-long giant sword appeared. Huh, this martial soul fusion skill is really interesting. Tang Yu said. The higher one's soul power was, the more sword combinations they could use. For example, over rank 10, they could use double sword combination, and over rank 20, they could use 4 sword combination. Above level 30, one could use the 6 swords combination, and the 8 swords combination should be their strongest killing move. Tang Yu and Wang Dong tacitly put away their weapons. Then, they hugged each other. At this moment, the audience's eyes widened. Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun were stunned. They couldn't be doing that, right? Looking at Tang San and Xiao Wu, Tang San and Xiao Wu shook their heads with a bitter smile. They had the same expression when they saw them like this in the past. Just continue watching, it's very magical, Xiao Wu said. At this moment, a change occurred. A tornado suddenly appeared in the arena that was originally fine. Tang Yu and Wang Dong were in the eye of the tornado. However, this tornado was actually a strange rainbow color. Suddenly, roar, roar, roar. A dragon's roar was heard. The surrounding space was actually trembling. The pressure made everyone in the audience feel as if an ancient giant beast was awakening. They subconsciously released their martial souls to resist, but their martial souls were actually trembling. It was afraid, especially the beast's soul. Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun tried to resist, but they realized that they couldn't use their soul power at all. Their soul power seemed to have solidified. Tang San and Xiao Wu gave up resisting at the side. No matter how many times I see it, it's still so domineering. Their 5th martial soul fusion soul skill, Dragon God Awakening. The rainbow-colored tornado had already stopped, but a person appeared in front of everyone. That person looked to be around 18 years old. He had long rainbow-colored hair that fluttered in the wind, snow-white and flawless skin that seemed to be able to be broken by the wind, and he wore a long white trench coat. It was the same as Kirito's, but it was white. He had a gentle and graceful figure, purplish-red vertical pupils, long eyelashes, a golden right eye, and a silver left eye. His expression was cold, and he had a pair of rainbow-colored dragon wings on his back. This was an arrogant and callous fellow. He was too beautiful and too handsome. He was an existence that was both handsome and beautiful. Everyone was stunned. No man would think that he was more handsome than this person. No woman would think that she was more beautiful than this person. Now, everyone had a question. Was this person a man or a woman? Paha! The huge sword was already slashing towards that person. That person's lips opened slightly, and an ethereal voice sounded, "Shatter," with an echo, "Kacha." The moment the word "shatter," the huge sword shattered. Everyone was shocked. A single sentence was enough to break the opponent's strongest killing move. That person's lips opened again, and the ethereal voice sounded again. No one could tell if it was a man or a woman. Your sword skills are really too weak. Compared to that sword fanatic, those who have seen Exceptional know who he is. Those who don't know can go and see Exceptional. You're far too weak. After a single sentence, the twins felt their vision turn black, and they fell down. Silence. Complete silence. Without doing anything, he finished off his opponent with a single sentence. In an instant, that person shone with boundless light. It was incomparably dazzling. When the light disappeared, 2 people were standing side by side. They were Tang Yu and Wang Dong. The 2 of them looked at each other and smiled tacitly. Then, they high-fived each other. "Pa, we won," they said in unison. Whoosh whoosh. The scene was lively. They were too strong. That is their martial soul fusion skill? Dai Mubai was shocked. Zhu Zhuqing and Ma Hongjun were also very surprised. Yes, they call it Dragon God Awakening. Tang San said from the side. Dragon God? Dai Mubai, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ma Hongjun were shocked. Flanders, who was behind them, was already in tears. Woo! Finally, I've won once. After that at the Shrek Academy. You guys performed very well today. Rest early. Tomorrow, you have to continue training, Flanders said to the 9 of them with a smile. Then, he looked at Ning Rongrong. How is it, miss? How about you? Are you still leaving? Ning Rongrong bowed deeply to him. I'm sorry. Dean, please let me continue to stay. I was wrong. I will change this habit. Ha! Dismissed. Go back to sleep. The dean smiled gently and turned to leave. What's wrong with the dean? Oscar was puzzled. Ha! He's very happy. Tang Yu laughed. He pulled Wang Dong back. What's going on? Oscar and Ning Rongrong were puzzled. You guys didn't see it. Their 100% martial soul fusion skill. Dai Mubai said. What? Oscar and Ning Rongrong were shocked. 7 treasures glazed sect. What? That Flanders actually dared to be mean to Rongrong. The 2 elders said angrily. All right. Uncle Jian, Uncle Gu, it's okay for Rongrong to suffer a little. She can only grow this way. A middle-aged man advised. Fengji, are you still her father? Are you not going to care that your daughter is being scolded? Your daughter was scolded by a little soul sage in order to protect the sect's honor. Are you not going to care? No, I'm going to bring her back. I'm going to beat up that FO something guy. Elder Jian said angrily. Uncle Jian, what's wrong with letting Rongrong suffer a little? She's really spoiled. I'm just going to let her temper herself. Ning Fengji said. Who is it? Come out. Uncle Jian and Uncle Gu looked outside the sect at the same time. Their expressions changed greatly. It was as if they were facing a great enemy. It started to snow. Strange, it should be summer now, right? Ning Fengji asked curiously. No, someone is causing trouble. Uncle Jian and Uncle Gu released their martial souls and soul rings in preparation to face the enemy. At this moment, keep them, otherwise die. A lady's voice sounded. A beautiful lady appeared in the sky. She looked to be 18 years old. Her snow-white hair and skin seemed to have merged with the snow. She was dressed in white, as if she was the ruler of the snow. Elder Jian and Uncle Gu were shocked. They couldn't see through this person's strength. They even felt danger. Furthermore, this aura was actually a soul beast. Uncle Jian, Uncle Gu, keep your martial souls. If this person wanted to kill us, she would have done it long ago. Ning Fengji said carefully. Why would a soul beast come here? Furthermore, a transformed soul beast was at least 200,000 years old. However, for Uncle Jian and Uncle Gu to feel danger, her strength. May I know which soul beast senior is from? Why did you come to my sect? Ning Fengji asked carefully. Finally, there's someone who is easy to talk to. This emperor wanted to test my skills, but it seems like there's no need for that. Snow Empress. My name. Cultivation of 800,000 years. They have all become rank 1 divine beasts. In fact, all divine beasts are above 1,000,000 years old. The Snow Empress and the rest are special cases. The 800,000 years here is just to scare Fengji and the rest. Boom! The 3 of them were shocked. 800,000 years. What? This emperor is only here to help someone pass a message. Shrek, we will protect him. Understand? The Snow Empress said expressionlessly. Yes. The 3 of them said in fear. All right, then goodbye. The Snow Empress disappeared as if she had never appeared. All right, Uncle Jian, are you still one of Shrek? I didn't expect there to be such an existence behind Shrek. Oomph. Go to hell with your big head. Go back. Ugh. Chapter 138. In the Shrek Academy, the arrival of the Master caused Tang San and the others' special training to turn into a hellish training. It was extremely bitter. However, the results of the special training after a month were astonishing. Dai Mubai broke through to rank 38, Oscar broke through to rank 32, Tang San broke through to rank 33, and the others broke through by 1 level. However, the most amazing ones were Light Rain and Wang Dong. They actually broke through to become Soul Kings. However, when everyone was about to help them find suitable soul rings, Wang Dong's sister appeared. Of course, she was called over by Tang Yu, said that she was going to bring them to find stronger soul rings, and Light Rain and the others were taken away. Somewhere, a beautiful young man was holding a 3-centimeter long gray fan-shaped fragment. Behind him stood a boy and a girl. This must be teacher's third divine sense fragment. The beautiful young man was Tang Yu, and the boy and girl were Wang Dong and Wang Xiao'er. I felt that it was very familiar, so I casually snatched the medal. I didn't expect it to be teacher's fragment. Xiao'er also became Elder Yi's disciple. Wang Xiao'er said, "Xiao'er, it's not good to snatch things. However, you did well this time. Teacher's resurrection won't be far from now." At this moment, the fragment emitted a dark and frightening light and a frightening pressure. However, the three of them were already used to it, so they could ignore it. Tang Yu's aura suddenly changed. In an instant, he became a person full of death aura. His eyes were gray, his hair was gray, and he wore a gray robe. There were gray flames in his hands, and 2 strange gray soul rings revolved around him. The third fragment also fused into Tang Yu's forehead. At this moment, a third gray soul ring appeared behind the second gray soul ring. At this moment, Elder Yi appeared from behind. The current Elder Yi was much clearer than before. He was a handsome man who seemed to be in his 20s. "Teacher," the three of them cried out in surprise. "Haha, it's been hard on you guys." The man laughed. "It's not hard at all," the three of them said in unison. Elder Yi asked again, "Light Rain, how do you feel?" It felt great. Just as his teacher had said, the undead demiplane. The fusion of the second fragment not only gave Tang Yu a second gray soul ring, but also allowed Tang Yu's undead demiplane to evolve into a demiplane, which was much larger than before. It's really evolved into an undead plane. As long as all 9 fragments were gathered, the undead plane would no longer be a plane. It would be a universe. It's a universe that belongs to the undead. The three of them were shocked. Even a godly emperor couldn't have a universe. He actually carried a plane that could evolve into a universe with him. Just the thought of it was domineering. Then wouldn't he have billions of undead creatures? No, even more than that. The three of them began to fantasize. "All right, wake up. You haven't found the remaining 6 yet." Oh. The three of them woke up. However, they actually had their own universe. Who exactly was their teacher? Don't guess my identity. It's something you can't imagine. There's no one like me in this world. Ha. After he finished speaking, he disappeared. "Teacher, he's really mysterious." Tang Yu sighed. Wang Dong, Wang Xiao'er, and the 7 gods in the spiritual world nodded at the same time. Wang Dong, "Quick, let's go back." "Xiao'er, don't go back to the spiritual sea yet. You come back too?" Tang Yu suddenly had a bad feeling. Outside the Shrek Academy, a group of people lined up neatly. There were at least 1,000 of them. A middle-aged man said to the old man in front of him, "Principal, this should be the place. This is the Shrek Academy. The person who froze me and my students for a week is here. He even insulted our academy as a trash academy. You must uphold justice for the academy." "Enough. Don't try to lie to me. A child who can kill you and 8 other students in an instant, a 12-year-old soul ancestor with 4 black soul rings. How can such a person exist?" The old man said angrily. No. Why would I lie to you? It's all true. He said Song Huey's garbage dump has a lot of trash. Oomph. How dare he insult my academy? This Shrek really doesn't want to live anymore. "Teacher," Tang Sin said worriedly. "Wait. We must wait until Tang Yu and the others come back. If we fight, we must hold on until they come back." Chapter 139. Hey, listen up, Shrek's people. You've been surrounded. Quickly surrender and hand over the hostages. Hand over the child. Otherwise, almost thought I was writing a crime movie. The martial soul released by the trashy principal was actually the Scarlet Demon Tiger. It was said that the flame of this martial soul was extremely close to the ultimate fire. Its soul rings were actually 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 4 black. Contra, 8 soul rings. Moreover, his soul rings were even more compatible than Duke Long's. The other teachers and students released their martial souls as well. The pressure was so great that Shrek's people couldn't breathe. The master looked at the students' unwilling gazes and then looked at Flanders. Old man. The master looked at Flanders, who was slowly looking at him. If the academy is destroyed like this, maybe it's fate. Flanders raised his head and said with a melancholic smile, "But, profiteer, shut your mouth. I want to see who dares to touch my territory today." A domineering voice sounded. Shrek's people immediately became invigorated. This voice, Light Rain, Tang San, and Xiao Wu shouted excitedly. Next, the 7 freaks shouted in unison, "The trump card is here." What appeared in front of everyone were 3 children who were no more than 14 years old. 2 boys and 1 girl. But it was these 3 children. They subdued the trashy academy. It was because of their soul rings. Tang Yu, Wang Dong, and Wang Xiao all had dragon wings on their backs. Of course, Tang Yu was the most domineering. He had 2 pairs of large dragon wings. The front pair was golden, while the back pair was silver. However, the most frightening thing was their soul rings. Wang Xiao actually had 9 red. Seeing this, the principal was stupefied. Wang Dong had 5 black rings. Tang Yu's were actually 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 gold. The morale of the trashy academy instantly fell. Hey, didn't you say it was a soul ancestor? Why are there 2 soul kings? And why? Why is there a Dolua? The principal trembled. Those 9 terrifying soul rings were the symbol of a titled Dolua. A titled Dolua can already destroy my academy. Furthermore, those 2 kids are only around 12 years old, aren't they? He was already a soul king. What's more, it was a combination of 5 black. The other one was actually a gold and silver soul ring that he had never seen before. This. That trash teacher had already knelt down. No. The ending shouldn't be like this. Why? Would a titled Dolua be here? I've been observing this place for a long time. You'd be surprised if you found it. You trash. How dare you come here? Tang Yu said coldly. He even wanted to destroy our home. Wang Dong continued. Unforgivable. Wang Xiao continued. After speaking, Wang Dong, Wang Xiao and Wang Dong retreated behind Tang Yu. Wang Dong pushed his right hand behind his back, while Xiao pushed her left hand behind his back. Dragons have reverse scales. Anyone who touches it will die. The 3 of them roared towards the sky. At this moment, a dragon appeared behind them. Xiao was a golden dragon, but its wings were gold with a hint of silver. Wang Dong's was a small 7-color dragon with a pair of butterfly-shaped wings spread out from its back. On the other hand, Tang Yu's was a huge golden and silver dragon. It had dazzling golden and silver dragon scales and 4 pairs of symmetrical dragon wings. The front pair was golden, while the back pair was silver. One of its eyes was golden, while the other was silver. The 3 dragons actually began to slowly fuse together. In an instant, boundless light, roar. The dragon roared. Pressure appeared. Everyone unknowingly knelt down. When the light dissipated, a person appeared. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.